In a small town where the cattle roam, there's a man with dreams bigger than his home. He don't wear no suit, just a worn out hat, but he's got a plan, gonna flip them stocks like that. He wakes up early before the rooster crows, his computer screen shining, his coffee cup overflows. He's bullish on Monday, bearish on Tuesday, making money moves. Yeah, he's got that clue. He's got his charts and graphs all laid out in line. Every candlestick tells him when it's his time. He's studying trends, watching prices rise and fall. Trading like a cowboy, he's standing tall. Riding the tide when the waves get strong, betting it all, yeah, the risk turns him on. Red turns to green, just a blink and it's gone. The market don't wait, you just gotta hold on. One wrong move and it all slips away. But he's playing for keeps, yeah, he'll live for the trade. He don't chase the noise, he just moves with the flow. Reads the tape like a prophet, sees what they don't know. The fear and the greed, they all play the same game. But he's 2 steps ahead, never folds, never sways. Riding the tide when the waves get strong, betting it all, yeah, the risk turns him on. Red turns to green, just a blink and it's gone. The market don't wait, you just gotta hold on. One wrong move and it all slips away. But he's playing for keeps, yeah, he'll live for the trade. Every chart tells a story, every dip's got a rhyme. Some rushing blind, but he waits for his time. Ain't luck, it's a rhythm, it's patience and pain. Some crash and they burn, he just rides through the flames. Waves get strong, betting it all, yeah, the risk turns him on. Red turns to green, just a blink and it's gone. The market don't wait, you just gotta hold on. One wrong move and it all slips away. But he's playing for keeps, yeah, he'll live for the trade.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and happy Friday, happy Payday Friday, happy PCE Inflation Report Friday. It is a big, big Friday for everyone here in the Goonie community, and it's also just a big day for Piper. She got a whole new toy. It's a whole new mouse toy that she loves, so she's crushing it. I don't know if she'll be stopping by on the show today. I know she likes to generally stop by on Fridays, but she seems to be a little bit preoccupied. And I was like, hey, you know, it's a big show, right, Piper? And she looked at me. I was like, there's a lot of people counting on you and your interpretation of what's happening in the market to ideally make low risk, high reward type of trades, to ideally go into the weekend with a couple extra dollars in their pocket. And she just seemed to not care. So I'm sorry to report that she's not necessarily putting you above her own individual interest in playing with the new mouse toy, but it's just where we are today. But yes, morning early birds. It is an early bird type of day. We do have the PCE inflation report coming out in about 5 minutes. So we're going to be able to listen to our boy Rick Santilli. We're going to be looking at the market. I have some other news we're going to go over related to the overall market. But most interestingly, we see going into this, there's been a big shift in options. Coming into today, we already knew that the option chain on the 0 DTE was put dominated. There's more put open interest than there is call open interest. That was not true for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Monday was because of the JP Morgan position, but throughout the trading session yesterday, at some point in the day, every individual day of next week became put dominated. 3 of the 5 were already put dominated, became more put dominated, and then the 2 that were call dominated are actually now put dominated. So not only for today, but for every individual trading day of next week, there was a clear shift throughout the session yesterday. And I know that's a little weird just because yesterday's price action itself was choppy. We really weren't making any fresh breakouts. We weren't really making any fresh breakdowns. If anything, it was just a bounce off of key support. Not only was it an upsloping major trend line, it was a huge open interest level, somewhat of an important psychological level. We puked to it very early in the session, and then the market basically just caught itself and bounced up. We didn't bounce that high. We got up basically to an important DEX transition zone, the Delta Gamma transition zone. Got up there. The calls were pretty much flat all day. They didn't get aggressive, so then we just kind of fell over, and that was it for the day. So I don't think that's going to be the story of the day at all. We see Bitcoin's coming down. We see volatility's picking up. We see the SPY and the Qs. The Qs are right at their low from yesterday. The SPY, as of right now, it is just above that major breakdown zone. So if we get there, it might completely capitulate, or of course, it could be somewhat of a large bounce intraday like we saw yesterday. So I very much think today is going to have a lot more interesting swings and action and volatility and tradable opportunities for us. So it's going to be a good day to kind of close out the week. So with that being said, we're a couple minutes out from the actual inflation report, which will be setting the tune on the day. Let me show you what's going on over here. Right here, you could see the SPY slightly down, the Q slightly down. You could see Bitcoin slightly down. You could see volatility slightly up. And it's all because we are waiting on the PCE inflation report. So the core PCE year over year, 2.7% is the line in the sand. And the core PCE month over month is 0.3%. Those are the lines in the sand, once again, for core year over year and core month over month. So that's what we're going to be listening for. And I guess I ask of you guys, here, let me get this ready. Actually, let me show you this. This is the daily chart on the SPY. Obviously, we puked. We got a bit of a bounce. We had some higher highs and some higher lows. This is a classic bear channel. You could also call it a bear flag. I know it's weird to call this a bear channel, but it's called a bear channel because when you have this like perfect upslope with like basically 2 parallel lines, they commonly do break down. Now, I say commonly. I'm not saying it's a guarantee. I'm not saying it happens all of the time, but that's why this structure right here, like 2 perfect parallel lines upsloping, it's called a bear channel. I know it's weird because the price is bullish, but it's more indicative of the way that it breaks, and it's basically the flag of the overall bear flag. But once again, when it comes to the world of technical analysis, there's seemingly 18 different names for the exact same. So the downside gap fill was not hit yesterday. I'm looking for that today. We also have this trend line. You could also see pretty much the same setup on SPX. Downside gap fill not hit. We're right at the trend line. Lots of exciting stuff going on there. So we'll be coming back to that after the report. I'll do the full breakdown of the key levels of where we're bullish, where we're bearish. I'll be, of course, giving that to you. But I suppose the first thing I want to do is switch this over because we are about 45 seconds out. The SPY is currently trading at 566, almost perfectly flat. What is your guess? What is your best guess? You literally have seconds to respond to this because the report comes out in just over 30 seconds. So if you guess after, you're cheating. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Which way do you think we're going to gap? You got to guess. You got to guess. You have 30 seconds. I know there's a little bit of a slight delay between what I'm saying and what you're saying, but you guys better be feverishly typing away because any guesses after the report comes out and it simply just doesn't count. It just doesn't count, folks. You got to guess now. We are 10 seconds out. Ooh, it's getting interesting. We're just above 566. 3, 2, 1, fire. Ooh, initial move to the downside, but not by much, by about 25 cents. Ooh, now about by 50 cents. Initial move, pouncing a little up, back down. Ooh, must have come in a little bit hot. Or
so it's at 433. We got the Richter Santelli standing by at the CME.
All right, initial move right here.
I didn't see what the Cubs
down
did
about
yesterday,
50 cents.
We can talk about that
down
later.
about 50 cents and 75 cents.
Well,
we're going down,
there's a
Bessie.
lot of big numbers in the rearview mirror on spending and income that were really shocking last month. So we want to see if we reverse some of these trends. And it's hitting
Here's
the
our boy,
wires,
Rick.
Joe.
Rick's in
February
chat,
income,
folks.
Spending and PCE, expecting the income number to be up about 0.5%, maybe up 0.4, double that, up 0.8, and up to now, no revisions yet. That follows up 0.9. Up 0.9 last month was 1-year high. Let's add an 8.
SPY slightly down, Q slightly down, vol
Now, if we
picking
look
up,
at the
Bitcoin
spending
slightly
side,
down is
last
the
month at
initial
minus
reaction.
0.2, that was the first negative number in 2 years. It was the biggest negative in drop in spending in 4 years, but we reversed it to some extent, up 0.4, about as expected. And if we look at real spending adjusted for inflation, last month, minus 0.5%. That was the first negative in a year, the biggest drop in 4 years, but yet we reversed that, but in a smaller way. Adjusted for inflation, up 0.1, up 0.1.
Spending down.
Let's take a look at the PCEs. We'll start out month over month, expected to be up 0.3, comes out at 0.3. If you look at year over year,
Slightly high.
expected 2.5, it comes out at 2.5. If we look at the core now on month over month,
we're coming in slightly hot.
0.3, a little warmer.
A little warm.
0.4.
Inflation's
That
a
would be
bit
the
hot.
warmest,
It's getting a
going
bit
back
toasty
to-
in here, team.
Wow, I'm gonna have to go.
It's getting
That'll
a
be the
bit
warmest
toasty
space
in here.
year,
Someone turned on the
January
sauna.
of 24. And
Inflation
finally,
is
if we look
hot.
at
Spending
core,
is down.
Year over year,
Not
expected
good to have
2.7.
spending down
It's a
and
10th
inflation
warmer
up.
as well. 2.8. 2.8 will be the warmest going back to, well, the end of last year we were 2.86. So
Yeah.
this one remains sticky. Revisions
Not
coming
so
in
good.
now. Okay, I'm going to go slowly here.
Honestly,
The
I'm
income
surprised
goes
we're
from
not puking
0.9
more right now.
Up to 0.7 last month.
On
The
just
minus
initial
2 cents on spending
shock.
Gets a little bigger.
We're only
minus
down
3
by
cents, but we
$1.50. We're down by
reversed it.
0.2%.
And minus 0.5% on the real spending number goes to minus 0.6. So we see that some of the takeaways from revisions were a little bit less on the positives, a little bit more on the negatives. But all
The
in all,
revisions
I
are
think
not
it's a pretty
good.
good report. Now,
Folks,
even
I'm
though
not
we
really
have some
seeing much
slightly
positive stuff
hotter,
here.
PCE numbers, we see that yields are moving down.
Personal
Now, 10-year
income's up.
yesterday
That's
had a
good.
1-month
There is a
high
positive.
close going back to the 24th of February. Here we are right now hovering at 431. At 431, we're minus 5 basis points on the day, but we're still up 6 basis points on the week, and that's something to pay attention to, especially considering
reading
the steepening
here.
of the
Anything
curve
else?
we're finally starting
Income
to see.
up.
We're back about 35 basis
Spending
points, 10s
down.
to 2s. Joe, Becky, back to you.
How are yields
Good. All right,
reacting to
thanks.
this?
Rick, Steve Leisman joins us now. He's muttering and shaking his head.
And all kinds of things here.
You know.
Look, this is emblematic of the problem the Fed has, I think, right? Which is that
Yields.
you're stuck, stagnant, actually
Bonds
even
are
a little
going up.
hot on the core side at
How's
2.8.
gold?
So you
Gold
went,
up on this,
I'll give you the
dude.
exact numbers of the.
This
tail of
definitely
tape here
favored
on
the
core.
bears.
286 December, 266 January, and now 279 in February. So you went up, you went down, you're not
You're
making any progress. And-
Dangerously close to
and you
yesterday's
have
low on the
these
SPY, and the
tariffs
Qs
coming
are
down the
actually
pike, and
below
that's
it.
really the problem. That's why that comment from Barkin, this is not just a regular kind of fog. This is a pull over and put on your hazards kind of fog is where we're at right now. I'm interested in the consumption numbers, whether or not there's been some pull forward. Our friend Phil LeBeau talking about the idea that maybe they're going to have strong car sales. Maybe that was people getting out there to buy cars ahead of time. Real consumption after adjusting for inflation, just 0.1%. And I couldn't find the savings rate because once again, guys, this may be emblematic of the caution you have out there. Income is outstripping consumption. It's a lot of times either the other way around or kind of flat. So I'm guessing the savings rate went up. I've got to find it here. Almost invariably when I do this, somebody writes into me. Personal savings was 4.6, which I think is down a little bit from where it was. Anyway, people, when they get concerned, when those sentiment numbers drop, that's what they might do.
The
is they
Bears
save a little
might
bit
be
more. So
having
that's where we're
themselves
looking at
a
here.
little bit
And
of a
what the
day there,
impact is.
Nancy.
I've been surprised, Becky, about
Becky.
polling on tariffs. How many people seem to
Who's
know about it?
stripping? We're
We
stripping,
do these
Dustin.
polls on economic issues.
In the news cycle, it's talked about every day. The White House is weighing in on it just about every day, too.
Except for these things can be out there, and then we poll, and people are like, what are you talking about? They know about tariffs, and they seem to be changing their behavior.
Look at all
based
that
on
negative
it,
gamma.
And then, the president saying don't raise prices of your automobiles to the car companies.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a lot of negative gamma. We are on a slippy surface. We are trading on ice today.
They do seem to have a sense that this will be driving up their costs and not going the right way. The last NBC poll was not good for the president on the issue of inflation.
I wonder how much of that is because this is a population that has been so educated on inflation.
It's still
and has
actually
lived through
holding up better
inflation
than I thought.
Like we hadn't.
We're only
in
down
40 years.
0.3%.
So this is a population that is very sensitive to prices.
We
That's
are
why the
right
Biden
at that key
administration,
breakdown level.
In large part, a big part of the reason they got
Right
pushed
here.
out is
This
because
is the
inflation was
exact
there,
level we
prices
were watching
higher, and
yesterday.
the Biden
We're slated to,
administration can
if
tell
we
you
were to
that
open right now,
inflation
we'd
was
be
down,
right
but it
here.
wasn't.
This
You know,
is
your
so
prices,
massively
when you look at the store,
important.
were still up.
Right
this is a
here.
population that realizes how quickly prices can spike, and that maybe that makes the tariff conversation much more interesting.
Yeah, we're right
That's
at
a
5,
big
6, 7,
part,
5.
Becky, of
Right here. 5,
especially
6,
the
7,
hawks
5.
on the FOMC,
Massive breakdown
but
zone.
not
So
even just the
if we
hawks.
break
They're
down,
saying
quick
that,
puke.
okay,
But
this is
like
not
yesterday,
gonna be the
support could come in and we bounce right
2018
back up to
we had low
90,
inflation in the
maybe
past
700
and low
flat.
inflation in the future.
We're opening up right
the
at a
tariffs
key
didn't
zone.
seem to flow through, at least to the consumer basket. But right now, that inflation in the past could make people more likely to think it's coming again.
Yeah.
So you have this reflexive, adaptive
Core inflation
expectations
February is
behavior.
2.8
lived
higher
through
than
it very
expected.
recently.
And so
Income
people are
jumps
ready, and that's one of the
0.8%.
things that
Income
makes
up,
the Fed a little
spending
bit more
down,
cautious about
inflation up.
the idea of looking through the inflation round this time around from tariffs.
Steve, thank you.
Pleasure.
All right, let's bring in former Richmond Fed President Jeffrey Lacker. He is now senior affiliated scholar with George Mason.
Boring. All right, let me give you the skinny on the situation. Folks, let me really break down what's going on here today. Let me paint a picture with you. You guys know I'm much more of a visual storyteller. Imagine you were there on a Thursday night and you're getting ready for a big trading day on Friday. And you're doing all your research, you're drawing all your trend lines, you're reviewing the option chain, you're consuming the news, you're reading your favorite analyst opinions on where inflation's about to go. And you're getting ready for the big day. You set your alarm, you get your green smoothie mix ready for the big day, and you're out of nowhere. Your buddy calls you up. Ring, ring, ring. You say hello. And you're like, Tony, haven't spoken to you in years. What's going on, buddy? And Tony says, hey, man, I'm in town for one night. Would love to meet up. It's been a while ever since college. And you say, okay. And before you know it, you and Tony are tearing the town up. You are putting a new definition on the word DUI. You are ripping it. I mean, it's a bad day to be a whiskey bottle, if you know what I mean. And by the time you wake up, half in the tank, shameless, clothesless, you wake up on a frozen lake. And you're like, what am I possibly doing on a frozen lake right now? It makes no sense. And thankfully, you were able to battle hypothermia and you won that particular battle. But before you know it, it's almost 9:30. The market is opening. And there you are, naked, not sure what's going on. And all you have is one app on your phone that allows you to trade. And not only is the slipperiness of the situation happening in the stock market, but it's also represented what's going on in your life. That is the situation we're in right now. Except the metaphor is not the best because that sounds cold when inflation came in really hot. So imagine if there was a fiery lava hell that was also somehow simultaneously slippery. But I don't think there's necessarily a good metaphor for this one because it came in hot, but yet it's really, really slippery. So that's kind of confusing. I can't really think of a situation in which it would be simultaneously slippery and it's hot. But what you need to know, and let me show you this right here, is we are in a pretty wild situation. On the screen now, this is the gamma heat map. The gamma heat map shows you, are we negative or positive gamma? You could see the 0 DTE, and you could also see the all expiration. As you can see, as I toggle between the two of these, this is all negative gamma. Negative gamma is not bullish. It is not bearish. It just means that whichever way we get going, the market makers are going to be supportive of that move. So if we start trending up, look to trend up more. If we start trending down, look to trend down more. That's what negative gamma means. It means that the market makers hedge out their books by being supportive of the current movement. If it's positive gamma, it means they're more mean reverting in nature. If you go up, they sell. If it drops, they buy. And that's, once again, this all relates to the gamma exposure and how they have to hedge their books. Because remember, market makers are not directional players. Market makers are there to take the other side of your trade to provide liquidity. And they basically always just want to traverse the spread, the difference between the bid and the ask. And then from there, they're saying, okay, cool. We just got to keep our book neutral. So to keep their book neutral, as in their overall positioning neutral, we can get an understanding of how they can do that by looking at various things such as gamma, delta, vanna, charm, all those nerdy ass second and third order derivatives in the world of trading, specifically options trading. The TLDR here is this, is we just woke up to a situation where Tony ditched us on a very slippery surface. This right here, when you see all this red, it is very, very slippery. Whichever way we get going, we can really get going that way. And as of now, not only do we have a slippery surface, but we just got some news that's not so good. For those of you joining right now, first of all, demerit, you're late to class. You know we start early on Fridays. It's a Payday Friday. But if you just missed it, we just got the inflation report, the PCE, the personal consumption expenditure, which according to the Fed, according to Daddy Pal, they weighed this inflation report the most, and it just came in hot. That means inflation is higher than we all anticipated by about 0.1%. That's not good. We don't want inflation hot. We're still above our 2%. And then Wall Street was wrong in the prediction of what it's going to be. So overall, our money is becoming less valuable at a more rapid pace. We always know that our money is becoming less valuable, but right now the rate at which it's becoming less valuable is higher than anticipated. So we're in this situation right now where we know that the administration is in the middle of this trade war, tariff war. They'll call it a drug war, but we all know what it is. So the administration's doing that while the Fed is in a situation where they're like, okay, inflation's high. The Fed fund rate is sitting up there. We need to bring it down, but we don't want to bring it down too early because if the Fed brings down the Fed fund rate too early, inflation's going to pick back up. The last thing we need is inflation and a trade war. But the Fed is getting pressure from the administration to bring the rates down because they're looking at the 10-year yield. And this is literally just from Howard Lutnick. It's from the economic advisor. It's from Trump himself. It's from Bissett. It's from all the people in the financial aspect of the administration are saying, we want the 10-year down. Well, the 10 years not really going to be going down that much in this current situation because things are a little bit foobar. They're a little bit messed up. So this is really driving what we've been talking about for a month is there's just quite a bit of uncertainty. Uncertainty of where the tariffs are going to go, uncertainty of what's going to be happening with monetary policy and the Fed, and just uncertainty of the stability of the current situation. So when you get these signs that uncertainty is rising, as in you have higher than expected inflation, complicating the decisions that are going to be made across the board from all the major players. Obviously, the market does not like that. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that that's not, oh, fuck, we're going down even more. SpaghettiOs. SpaghettiOs, you better call up Chef Boyardee because we're going to need an extra order of these SpaghettiOs. Jesus. So anyway, as you could see, market reacting unfavorably to higher than anticipated inflation, and for good reason. We all know, for any of you who've done 30 seconds of ChatGPTing or Googling or whatever you want, you know in this current situation with the current administration and monetary backdrop, that high inflation is no bueno. And inflation is now ticking up and it's going to be complicating things. And it happens to be occurring right at a major fucking breakdown. Not only do we have a trend line, but we have a huge open interest level. Oh, and let me remind you that we are going into the next trading day, as in not tomorrow markets close, but on Monday, the 31st, to conclude the actual calendar month. That's the expiration of the JP Morgan position that is at 5565. And I know that's very, very far away. In fact, it's a good 100 plus points away, but that we're now getting close enough where, remember, the gamma and the delta influence, the amount of influence kind of depends on how close you are to it. So when we gapped up on Monday, we were far enough from the JP Morgan put leg of the collar position that it just didn't matter. I mean, fuck, it was all the way down here. It was all the way down at 5565. So somewhere in this realm. Earlier this week, when we were all the way up here, it didn't matter. We're so far away that the gamma and the delta influence from that position was negligible. But all of a sudden, if we snap this level that we are literally in real time snapping, in real time we are literally testing it, if this breaks and we capitulate to the next major open interest levels, all of a sudden the gravity from this particular mini black hole, it might come into play. It might literally start acting as a magnet and pulling us down. But once again, the question is if price is the rocket ship and we're going through the cosmos, are we going to get caught into the gravity pull of this little mini black hole? Before, earlier this week, Monday and Tuesday, we were far enough away that it really didn't matter. Wednesday got a little bit questionable. Yesterday was a nothing burger. We pretty much ended right where we started. But today, coming back to this is, we know we're slippery, as in whichever way we get going, we can really get going. We know we are literally at this giant breakdown level. We're at this trend line right here. We are sitting at this. Are we going to break? Is this bear flag, is this bear channel going to snap? Are we going to puke all the way down to these recent lows around 558? If things get bad, are we going to get pushed all the way down to roughly the JP Morgan position? The SPY equivalent is about 550. But once again, on SPX, it literally is just 5565, which is roughly here. So it's an overshoot of these lows that we saw on Tuesday and Friday, but it is not quite the low that we saw on Thursday. So it's about roughly halfway through that region. So that's what we're at. This is going to be a very exciting day. Now, I do want to add a little bit of a caveat because I could even hear myself and it sounds like a little bit of doomsday talk. I want to clarify. We are opening here. We pretty much opened there yesterday. And guess what? Buyer stepped in. We had puts capitulate. They said, cool, I'm happy with this money. Hit the cash register. I don't want to take on the risk of the PCE report. And right here at open yesterday, we had people take their put profits and get into calls. And then it shot us all the way up to the transition zone, which the transition zone is pretty much the same today. I'll be covering this in more detail, but this is it. Basically above 5740, the bulls are in control. Below 5725, the bears are in control. This is the gamma and the delta transition zone where things go from kind of like, I don't know, sad and bearish to a little bit more constructive and bullish. I shouldn't call it sad because I think a lot of you have puts, so you're probably making a decent amount of money. So it's by no means sad. And fuck, I mean, I have puts anyway. So I'm on that team with you. I'm making a good chunk of change. So I'm not going to be complaining about this. But just to explain the realistic things to look for, like even for yesterday, I try to catch this play, and in retrospect, it was a stupid thing for me to attempt to do because we were still on the bearish side of things. I should have been looking for any major move to fade, such as this breakdown at 11:30, and I was just way too early, and I was a little greedy with the breakdown here. But regardless, we are on the bear side of the net today, and it looks like the bear side of the net might be getting a little bit worse because not only did we get legitimately bearish news, but we are at this major breakdown level, and I'll be going over the other levels to pay attention to today in the event of a bounce or in a breakdown. But obviously, first things first is we're just talking about this gap fill, which the way things are trending right now, it actually might turn into an upside gap fill rather than a downside gap fill that we didn't get yesterday. But obviously, we are not holding this breakout zone. And the next question is, are we coming back down to this somewhat of a price action transitional zone? So lots to chit chat about today. And I will be breaking down the levels and my plan and what's going on with options. But there are a couple other things we should talk about. So this is the core news of the day. Core inflation in February hits 2.8%, higher than expected. Income jumps up 0.8%. So that's actually a little bit of positive news. Income is up. Income is up, spending is down, inflation is up. That's the major news of this morning, and we'll be circling back to that. But just first on some of the important global news, Russia's Putin says it would be a profound mistake to dismiss Trump's push for Greenland. We know that Vance, and I actually think Mike Waltz is now going, but I think it's this upcoming week, they're going to be doing like a Greenland tour. So we might be getting something there. I just want to bring it up just in case this story becomes bigger than a nothing burger. Moving over a little bit to China, President Xi Jinping woos global business leaders as Trump intensifies the trade war. Remember, April 2nd, this upcoming Wednesday, is the Liberation Day. That's when we're going to be allegedly getting the next major update on tariffs, but it seems like we don't really go that many days, at least business days, without getting some sort of tariff news. Remember, we just got some auto news, which if anything wasn't anything too new. I mean, they were signed, but they don't go into effect until April 2nd anyway, the same day as a Liberation Day. and then they don't start collecting the money till April 3rd. So it seemed, if anything, that was announced to kind of take away some of the media spotlight from this whole signal debacle between the Houthis and all that bullshit. But whatever, that's just something weird that's going on. China's Xi calls on top executives to help uphold global order as trade tensions with U.S. rise. So thought this was a bit interesting. Apparently he was saying to invest in China is to invest in tomorrow. He kind of knows that he's on tilt, like not him individually. Well, for all I know, maybe him individually, but more so talking about they have a huge real estate issue. They have a shadow banking problem. They have generic rise in political discontent. And they are setting all these lofty targets of we're going to have GDP of 5%. And yet they're also staring like a trade war right in the face. So they have generic problems that I don't understand why so many people on Wall Street especially are saying invest in China, invest in China, invest in China, where if anything, I think the generic trend of China right now is in the negative direction. And I don't particularly see any signs, whether it's from our administration or from things going on over there, that make me think like this is a dip to be bought. I think not only do they have pain coming down the pike for the remainder of this year and really intensifying next year, but I think that's kind of true on a global level. Like this isn't me just picking on China. I think just the global economy, we're starting to realize what happens when you print trillions and trillions of dollars, let inflation run untethered. And then even now, when you've never figured out how to like run off your balance sheet before the Fed's balance sheet, like just what it does to the overnight lending market and the reserves, like what happens when they get crushed. We've never figured out that problem. And it's getting to the point right now where the overall system is so shaky that in the last FOMC meeting, Jerome Powell said, yeah, we're going to like bring down the intensity of our own quantitative tightening because we're not really sure what the fuck is going on. So like I said, I don't want to pick on China, but I think we're all kind of in a similar boat. But this idea of like, yeah, just ripping in China, which Ray Dalio has been pushing for a while, I just don't quite understand the play. But hey, he's a multi-billionaire and I am in fact not. This was the other news we were just referring to. Trump's new auto tariffs will likely drive up car prices by thousands of dollars. So if you kind of missed it, what was it? Wednesday night, Wednesday, we waited for market close, and then we got this Trump speech from the Oval Office where he's basically saying any vehicle not made in the U.S. will be tariffed at 25% across the board. If it's made in the U.S., you have nothing to worry about. That was the big TLDR. Once again, goes into effect next Wednesday, April 2nd, and they'll start collecting the tariffs on the 3rd. But I just saw this on the Wall Street Journal this morning. I thought it was kind of interesting. Trump warned U.S. automakers to not raise prices in response to tariffs. Threat came in a call earlier this month in which car makers feared punishment if prices go up. So that's kind of crazy. Because like, even if they have the idea of building out new manufacturing plants here in the U.S., you can't spin that up in a month. So to be an automaker such as Stellantis or Ford or whoever, if they don't have their major plants already here, you can't. I'm not an auto manufacturing expert, but I'm pretty sure you cannot spin up an entire auto plant in a couple weeks, in less than a month. So this idea that they all know they're about to get hit with 25% tariffs as they're importing their vehicles because they are created in other countries. They're not allowed to raise their prices to buoy out their financials in the meantime, and yet they're going to have to take on the cost of building out plants as rapidly as they possibly can to continually not get hit by the 25% tariff. So that's kind of complicated, and they're now at the point of being worried that they're punished if they do jack up their prices. So that, I guess I'm just really happy that I'm not running an automaking business, but it is being reported that one company will benefit. Wall Street analyst says Elon Musk is the clear auto tariff winner, Tesla wins, and Detroit bleeds. Several analysts on Wall Street see a clear winner emerging from President Donald Trump's new auto tariff policy, Tesla. Trump announced on Wednesday that all cars not made in the U.S. would be slapped with a 25% tariff beginning next week. The new cent shares of major car producers in, my apologies, in diverging directions on Thursday. Obviously, the day after the news. Put simple, Tesla wins, Detroit bleeds, wrote Bernstein analyst Daniel something in a Thursday note. Tesla, the clear structural winner. The analyst called Tesla the clear structural winner of the policy, adding that as a localized market share, it's better insulated from the trade risks. On the other hand, he said Ford and GM could see declines of up to 30% in earnings before interest and taxes this year. For everyone else, this is a margin reset and a real drag on near-time earnings. Yeah, it's going to be a huge drag, talking about a 25% drag. And if they do something about it to make the drag less, they're worried that they're going to get in trouble with the administration. So I don't know. That's a complicated situation. But speaking of Elon Musk says Doge aims to finish $1 trillion in cuts by the end of May. I just saw this. I thought it was interesting because I wanted to ask you guys, first of all, I guess to set the scene here, I myself am a large supporter and fan of the concept that there needs to be a better, more vigilant eye on wasteful government spending. Folks, I don't know if you've heard it, but one of the most recent things that they found out, you know how like we all do those the monkey survey things? Like, is that like whatever, just basic surveys, we all get it, whether it's from taking a flight, a trip, or a hotel stay, but I think it's literally called monkey survey. We've all done it. It's just a basic thing of, what did you think about this? What did you think about that? And you do it, and it's a free product for people at our size. If you look at it at the largest enterprise level, pretty much you would be maxing it out at 10K, a service where you just do like a basic survey. And that's like, I'm talking at the largest enterprise level. It would be extraordinarily difficult to run a survey that's going to end up like on a yearly basis costing you more than like 10 grand. That equivalent survey that the government was using, they were being charged $1 billion, $1 billion. And the kicker to this, not only were they overpaying for seemingly no reasoning, but the kicker there is that the data was going nowhere. They were running a survey that they were being overcharged for, and then the data was not actually being collected. Do you realize how fucking stupid that is? They were like, it was, and the sad thing is it's seemingly, as people are getting more into tracking where this money is being pissed away, apparently this is like one of a gazillion different examples of what's going on. Like, how fucking insane is that? That like we are in this modern age, and then all of a sudden our government, like, they are worse with money than a fucking local crackhead here in New York City. Like, I just don't get it. And I really don't get how anyone is out there saying, no, this is like a bad effort. Like, we should not be looking into this. That's just one of many examples. We wasted $1 billion for literally no reasoning. If you live in an area such as I do, I'm here in New York City, and you walk around and you see homeless issues. If you go on the internet or just read a little bit or talk to a veteran, you realize that a lot of vets are in serious need. There are so many clear issues that $1 billion would help. You have kids right now in school sitting hungry. They are, what's the term, like food insecure. Do you know how many people could be helped, like legitimately helped for $1 billion? And our government was so fucking stupid that they're like, we're going to run this survey. Like, I guess I just get so frustrated at the fact that our government is this incompetent. And then I think I get even more frustrated at the fact that when the first time in U.S. history, and I'm not saying it's a perfect effort, I'm aware of the fact that maybe in certain situations we're throwing out the baby with the bathwater. Speaking of other crazy idioms, I get it. Maybe we're coming on a little bit too hard to the situation. Maybe we're cutting out some of the good. I get that. Okay, I get that. But is that really a good enough reason to be like, no, don't fucking do it at all? No, don't do it at all. Like, I don't get it. How can we live in a day and age where the Pentagon has never, ever passed an audit? They can literally lose track of $1 trillion. We can run at a deficit of 1.5 of true $1 trillion. We have gazillions examples of pissing away from millions to billions to trillions of dollars. Like, this is all reality right now in our face. And people are like, I don't know if we should be looking into that. Like, what the fuck do you mean we shouldn't be looking into that? That like it's such like a like an evident like no duh type of thing. And then I feel like right now the reason, maybe not all of it, because I am receptive to the fact that, once again, I get that this is not being executed perfectly. I totally get that. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I also don't know if there's a perfect way to do it. So if you're going to err on the one side, are you going to be a little bit too extreme or not do it at all? Yeah, I'm going to vote with be a little bit too extreme every single fucking time, because this has been going on most likely for the history of the United States. And if you pay taxes, you should be pissed off. I could understand if you don't pay taxes, and then you just kind of don't fucking care because it doesn't impact you. But I literally just wrote a fat fucking tax bill. And the fact that I could sit there knowing that a like considerable percentage of it would be better off being lit on fire is fucking insane to me. Actually fucking insane to me. But I think a good percentage of the population, and I've thought a lot about this, a good percentage of the population who is uniquely against this Doge effort, they're against it because they know Elon's leading the charge. And I believe in their mind, they picture Elon to be the reason that Trump got elected. So he's kind of the right-leaning George Soros, and they seemingly had no issue with George Soros and what he did. Do I think that there should be this much money and just like pure financial influence in the world of politics? No. If I could wave a magic wand and make things a little bit better so we didn't have crazy shit like SPACs, we didn't have fucking crazy things like lobbyists and people just paying for the most fucked up laws, the inside track and all this, folks, I wish I could do it. I wish I could do it. But unfortunately, my magic wand was not viable for 2-day delivery from Amazon. So here I am waiting for a full week to get it. And we're just at the point that it hasn't happened yet. That's not my fault. Technically, it's Jeff Bezos' fault. I get it. It's not a perfect system, but it's just the fucked up world we can get in. So this idea of like, if we all just like run around and we're like, that's fucked up, that's fucked up, that's fucked up. Okay, no one disagrees. But wouldn't the logical thing then be, instead of pointing around, be like, well, no, allow me to do this messed up thing, allow my side to do this messed up thing, because this side also has messed up. None of it is right. None of it is right. Like, wouldn't the goal, couldn't we all just be like a mature enough to say, okay, cool, that's messed up. There's a lot of messed up things on both sides and everyone involved. Wouldn't, as like a reasonable society, we just take at least a baby step in the right direction and be like, okay, this is, what's the term that they're all using? Waste, fraud, and abuse. Okay, let's fix one. Just because it exists elsewhere doesn't mean you should not fix evident ones. You take the low-hanging fruit, cool, you move on to the next one. We took care of one problem, let's go to the next problem. And it almost seems like on both sides, they could maybe, if you like had their attention for a little bit, you could probably convince them that they're somehow involved or supporting or really not acting against waste, fraud, and abuse. But then the way that they dig their heels into the ground is like, well, I don't have to because there's waste, fraud, and abuse over there. And both are inherently true, but it's such a toddler-esque argument and decision-making that no. What your side is doing is worse. So like, we're not going to do anything about our side until you take care of your side. Like, it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. If there's fucked up things going on at all across the board, not just on the side you dislike or not just on the side that you support, just generically, if there's an effort to fix it, like, shouldn't it just be that simple? Like, if there's a problem to be fixed, we should kind of come together to fix this problem. I truly think a lot of the pushback here with Elon has nothing to do with Doge, truly. I think it has a lot more to do with the fact that a lot of people interpret the world's richest man, at least reported richest man, to be the reason that Trump's in office. And he is the reason that Trump's in office. I don't disagree with that. Without Elon buying Twitter, without Elon donating as much money as he did and doing whatever, getting people to register to vote and paying people a shitload of money, very evidently, he is the reason that we have Trump in office. Like, I don't disagree with it. So I think it's almost like a certain root system break off of Trump derangement system, of TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. People are like, okay, I hate Trump so much, so naturally I have to hate the person who put him in office. And yeah, I mean, I guess if that's the logical thought, I could understand why anything he does, you're just going to dislike. But God damn, what a crazy time we live in. So I guess I just wanted to cover this, just because it is going to clearly have implications on what is going on Tesla. We know right now Tesla stock is hyper volatile to the current, I guess, cultural zeitgeist almost opinion of Elon. And I don't know, it's been a while since he was this generically disliked. Like, if it was a gauge of going back and forth of how much he's liked, how much he's disliked, he had his heyday back in 2020, 2021, where like Elon could pretty much do nothing wrong. Things started to get a little bit more complicated with Twitter, and then now they're getting really complicated. And I feel like that gauge goes back and forth like dramatically right now with the whole Trump stuff. But I would say in terms of the generic disdain for him, he's at his max level ever, like in his entire life. So connecting that back to the important trading thing with us is on Tesla. You got to pay attention because there's going to be a clear amount of volatility to the upside, to the downside. You could get negative things, like there's entire Reddit groups trying to short Tesla right now. But then on the flip side, you could get tariffs that end up negatively impacting automakers. So on a relative basis, Tesla's stronger off. So it's going to be like trading Tesla like always had craziness and volatility. So it was never like an easy trade, but with respect to the time period that we're currently in and most likely will be sustaining for quite a while, I guess just be careful there on that one, just because vol on Tesla is just day over day rising. So just be careful on that one. I think in the short term, as an active trader, whether it's a bullish trend or a bearish trend, I truly think you can make a lot of money on it. But I'm just saying, whether you're supportive or not supportive, don't let that get in the way of what the price action is telling you. We see this time and time again of people, their personal bias, their political bias getting in the way of them either making money or getting into a trade where they know they're on the wrong side of it. I guess when the market opens, leave those opinions at the door and just ride whatever trend is apparently in front of you. Bringing it back to the overall market for the day, the big headline news is the fact that inflation came in higher than expected. I know that this is being colored green as if it's good, but no, these numbers being higher are in fact not good. So you have the PCE about a tenth higher, and then you have the PCE year over year and month over month, both about a tenth higher. So get ready for that. I do want to just remind you that today is going to be a Payday Friday. We're going to be doing it around 10:30, barring any craziness in the market. So if you've been here before, it seems like you guys really did not like the duck race for whatever reason. I guess maybe you just didn't like it because there wasn't enough depth for you the way there is in marble races. So we're going back to marble racing today. It's going to be roughly around 10:30. We're going to be picking someone off of Rumble, someone off of YouTube, and then 3 people off of Locals. If you are selected off of Locals, on top of that, you're going to be getting a free sim to funded options account from Vanquish. So shout out to Vanquish, obviously partnering up with us again to give away these accounts. We're going to be doing that at 10:30. If you come to the page right now on Locals, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video, you're going to see that 60 people already figured out what to do. I just need a way to reach out to you if you happen to be one of the winners. So you could throw your hat into the arena for Locals right now. And obviously you have all the way up until we start picking people to throw your name in here. But on top of it, we will be picking the person off of YouTube and Rumble. That's going to be done in real time. So at this moment in time, there's nothing you could do on the Rumble and on the YouTube side, but we will be doing that. We're going to be celebrating not only a hot inflation day, but we're going to be celebrating a clear Payday Friday. So I hope you are buckled up, Buttercup, for that. But in the meantime, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video, if you come to Locals, it's literally the top pinned one. So just right here, Payday Friday giveaway, a good old PFG. So make sure you guys are signing up for that. Once again, shout out to Vanquish. And on top of it, you can see the trade report. Piper's been on a heater this week. Piper yesterday around 10:40 fired off a bullish signal, 5 out of 5 confidence, max confidence. The base signal cost was 549. Obviously, you could scale this up to your heart's desire, and you would have returned 100% of the premium, which is $51, which would have actually paid for pretty much an entire month of you being in the Discord. Remember, your first month of the Discord is free. You just need to put in this promo code Goonie. This is all managed by Locals. Locals is the account management. It is the payment management. So when you sign up on Locals, not only are you going to be able to see some of the Piper stuff, but you're also going to be able to see the Payday Friday. And that's how you're also going to get into the Discord. If you're confused on how to get into the Discord, as soon as you sign up on Locals and become a supporter, which is a premium membership for free with this code Goonie, remember, remember, you have to put in this code Goonie. As soon as you do that, you're going to be able to click on this giant Discord button right here, or you could come to this pinned message. Welcome, read this to get into the Goonie Trading Discord. There's also the link. If you have any issues, you could reach out to me, media@MatthewKohrs.com, or you could DM me on Discord, MMK147. Remember, it could take up to 24 hours to process your account, but I'll manually run it throughout the day today, so no one has to wait that full day. But I just want to let you know it is all managed via locals. And on top of it, if you're like, you know what, I like the show, I like hanging out, but maybe you just don't have the time in your life to actively trade, you still get a lot of cool freebie things in here, such as the newsletter, it just comes out every single Sunday. I give you a generic breakdown of the market, all the earnings, all the major macroeconomic events. I do want to remind you that not only did we get the PCE report today, but we are going to be getting the consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. This is definitely going to be moving the market, so be careful about a half hour into the day. And then I also give you the seasonality for each individual trading day. And right here, this is the hypothetical equity curve you would have if you bought at open, sold at close on this individual day over the past 27 years. You can see kind of down and down and down, which it means it is favored by the bears. The bulls have won this day 44% of the time, and the profit factor is below 1, which means we are losing money as a bull, as in the bears. It clearly pays on this day to be a bear. It's not the most bearish day we've ever seen from a seasonality standpoint, but it definitely does favor the bears. I do want to let you know, just because we're here talking about seasonality, next week is absurdly bullish. Absurdly bullish when you get into the start of April from a seasonal perspective. Is that a guarantee? No, none of this is ever 100%. We're just looking at the highest probability pathways. I think the best framework to think of the market is back to the tree root system, and each particular path has a certain probability assigned to it. And as the data comes in and updates, so do those probabilities. I think in terms of retail trading, especially on the side of retail trading, it's not taught like that. Wait, what is this? So we broke and now we're bouncing. I'm getting some alerts. We made a new pre-market low and we're bouncing right off of it. We made this low at almost 4 in the morning, and now we're getting a pretty clear bounce off of it. The NASDAQ didn't. Both got really close to that Jesus. So we're getting a little bit of a 9 a.m. pump, but we are still in the red territory. We are right below the closing value on the SPY and the Qs. Is this news driven? Because I see Bitcoin picking up. I see vol dropping. Did something just come out, or are people just trying to buy the dip with low risk? Was there anything... breaking: EU plans concessions for Trump after reciprocal tariffs hit. Breaking news as of 3 minutes ago. The reason for this pop: breaking: the EU plans concessions for Trump after reciprocal tariffs hit. The EU plans a quote-unquote terms sheet of concessions for Trump tariff talks. The EU has identified concessions that it is willing to make to the Donald Trump administration in order to secure the partial removal of U.S. tariffs that have already begun to hit the bloc's exports and will increase after April 2nd. According to people familiar with the talks, EU officials were told at meetings in Washington this week that there was no way to avoid Trump's new auto and so-called reciprocal tariffs, which will go into effect next week. Discussions also began about the specifics of a potential reduction deal. That's why we literally just got this pop. It wasn't people simply coming in right here. The news was announced at 9:08. I mean, you could see the clear impact. We were trending down from inflation, hot inflation, and then the news breaks and we pop, and now we're pushing even higher. Not the biggest push. I mean, overall, we are still below where we were at for the actual inflation announcement. But the reason we're not getting a capitulation to the downside is right here. I mean, it's pretty evident. Like, the news broke here and we popped up. Once again, the TLDR in that is the EU plans concessions for Trump after reciprocal tariffs hit. Just dropping. A little bit of hot news there. A little bit of breaking news. So we're already kind of set up for a little bit of a whipsaw of a day. Ideally, we'll be able to get more clarity on that at one point or another of, is it a nothing burger, or is it pretty serious? Is it going to be enough positive discussions that the tariffs never go into effect? Or is it exactly that, just like a fat nothing burger, and the market quickly reverts? So that looks like, is that actually being reported anywhere else? So that's why that's actually kind of interesting. Today's going to be a pretty wild day. It's going to be a pretty fucking wild day. Looks like CNBC is not picking that up quite yet. Let me go over here. I just want to see if we could get more clarity. Look, Mom, I made it on CNBC, Brent. Okay, where EU tariff. EU tariff. Let's see if we can find more info on this. This could be making the opening session right here. EU plans concessions for Trump after reciprocal tariffs hit. EU plans concessions for Trump. Okay. Incredible. That was from the 21st. Yeah, everyone's reporting this. This looks like it was reported by Bloomberg. The EU is identifying concessions to make the Trump administration to secure the partial removal of U.S. tariffs that have already started hitting EU exports. So once again, they are uniquely, like specifically calling out the partial removal. EU officials were told that the new auto and reciprocal tariffs will be launched next week, and discussions began on what a potential deal to reduce them should look like. The European Commission is working on a quote-unquote term sheet for a potential agreement, which would set out areas for negotiations on punitive trade measures, including lowering EU duties, mutual investments with the U.S., and easing certain regulations and standards. The EU makes it actually uniquely difficult for the U.S. to be doing business. Oh, it looks like, wait, that's on the 27th right here. So this is from yesterday. If the EU works with Canada in order to do economic harm to the U.S., large-scale tariffs far larger than currently planned will be placed on them both in order to protect the best friend that each of those two countries have ever had. Liberation Day in America is coming soon. For years, we have been ripped off by virtually every country in the world, both friend and foe, but those days are over. If you haven't really looked into the nature of tariffs, like, we really do get the short end of the stick. And it's at this point, is this the best way to go about equalizing it? No. But right now, if you look at Canada, Mexico, EU, and China, they all tariff us more than we tariff them. And it's not even really close. So I get that there's a general sentiment of like, why is Trump doing this? This is unfair. Well, by definition, it was unfair to us. Why are we, the world's bank, giving everyone money, paying off everyone's problem in everyone's military, and then yet when it comes to trade, we were getting no benefit? It would be one thing if we were equal, which is this idea of reciprocal tariffs, but I would actually argue by like the fact that we give out so much money and are so supportive to everyone all of the fucking time, that if anything, the trade should be more beneficial to us. And it's just in real time, that's not how it is. It truly is not. You don't understand tariffs. I would literally bet my entire net worth that I understand tariffs more than you do. I would 100% bet my entire net worth that I am far, far more informed on the current tariff situation, what tariffs are, anything related to tariffs than you are, especially by the name Freedom for Alberta. I am confident that when it comes to this particular field, maybe you know more about Alberta than I do. Maybe that's possible. But when it comes to the tariff situation, I'm pretty confident that I'm on the side that just is more informed about what the fuck is going on. Obviously, this is a painful situation for everyone. It is bouncing a bit more. So the market, reacting well to that. Right here, we are now back up to 5685. We were getting clocked for a second there. We were down below that breakdown level at 5665. So we had snapped. We were snapping this support. We got as low as here, and now we're actually bouncing all the way back up to halfway between this region, in between yesterday's close and also the breakdown level. So we're still right here. We're roughly where my cursor is at 8.5. So we're kind of either looking for the break and the recapture of yesterday's closing value, going from that red to green movement, and then potentially a push up to this transition zone. Remember, below it is still, from an option standpoint, still bearish, but maybe we get that trend up, or maybe the market's a little bit scared about what's going on and they use this pop to sell it, and then we end up testing 75, getting that downside gap fill, and then if we don't hold there, a quick puke down to 50. So regardless, today is setting up to be a bit volatile, a bit crazy. Yeah, we're right at 85. The 5 minute, actually, that was enough of a pump over the past 10 plus minutes to go from this bearish trend up to a new bullish trend. The 10 minutes testing, the 30 minute and the 4 hour are still bearish, so be mindful of that. Same thing, 5 minute and the 10 minute on the NASDAQ actually pushing bullish, but still just be mindful of the fact that the 30 minute and the 4 hour are still bearish. So the shortest of time frames, that got enough of a pump off this EU news that they're coming up with an idea, but we're still in the red territory, so I can't even say. We see vol coming down a little bit. We see Bitcoin picking up a little bit. I wonder, maybe the traders in aggregate interpret this to be good enough news that they push us back up into the transition zone. That's possible. Or on the flip side, and probably more likely, on the news that we got hot inflation, they're going to use any little pop to get out of their bullish positions because they don't want to be caught holding the bag when this thing goes down, because we have hot inflation and the looming rise of, like, an additional rise of the trade war. Wow. This is going to be a fun day. This is going to be a hectic day. So here we are. I would say from a couple things to consider. So from a fundamental backdrop, monetary policy, we just got hot inflation, negative news, bearish news. And then around 907, 908, we ended up getting positive news that the EU is thinking about things that they could do to reduce the tariffs. And it seems like every source that is reporting this is being very, very clear about the reduction of tariffs, not to get them like completely away. So anyway, that is the fundamental backdrop. We got a piece of negative news at 8:30. At 9:08, we got a piece of positive news. So let's see who weighs one. Like, let's see if traders weigh one to be more important than the other. From a technical perspective, we are right at this downside gap fill and also a major upsloping trend line. You could see it on the SPY. You could see it on SPX. There's a lot going on right here, but we do have this, what's referred to as a bear channel or a bear flag, whatever you want to call it. We have these higher highs. We have these higher lows. We have this downside gap fill to 5,670.84. We technically didn't get it yesterday. Same thing on the SPY at 564.89. So we were off by 5 cents on the SPY and we were off by 0.1 on SPX. The gap was not filled yesterday, and the gap happens to be not only at this upsloping trend line, but it also happens to be at a major open interest level of 5,675. That is a huge, huge, huge open interest level, which is why I have it marked out here in the yellow. Speaking of these levels, these are the levels to watch today, at least in my humble opinion. So you have this white block right here. That's the transition zone between 5,740 and 5,725. This is where both gamma and delta swap. So right here, it is favoring the bears. If we're below it, that's the transition zone. And above it, the bulls have a legit fighting chance to maybe reverse things. So this is the bullish zone. This is the bearish zone. This is the transition zone. Also, you're going to see the green, the red, and the white. That is the high, the low, and the close from yesterday. Obviously, they commonly do align with key open interest levels, and they're also just levels that a lot of people are playing off of. So for various reasons, you should be paying attention to it. So if we open where we roughly are, I'm trying to track where we are, back down to 8.3. So we are roughly here. So not only are we opening, ideally, if we open right now, below the transition zone, we're also below the close, and we're also right on top of a key breakdown level. So we're roughly where my cursor is. So I would say just from the price that we seem to be opening at, the bears are in control. So obviously, we're going to wait for price structure in the shortest of time frames, something like the 1 minute, the 3 minute, the 5 minute. Are we trending higher? Are we trending lower? So we're going to be checking that out. But I do want to let you know that this is massive. It's where not only we bounced yesterday's low, which is naturally support, huge open interest level, also that trending, that upsloping trend line where if we break down, I think there's a pretty easy play down of 56.50. If that doesn't hold, we're watching 56.25. And then we know there's a lot of action at 5,600. The lower we go, every single point we drop, it's going to make Monday's trading more interesting because of that JP Morgan position that expires on Monday. And the put leg of that collar position is at 5,565. So the more we drop, the more likely that will be influential on Friday's trading action. So I just want to make everyone clear about that. Now, on the flip side, we are opening roughly here. If we bounce or if we find support, yes, watch yesterday's close because there's naturally going to be resistance on that red to green move. And then from there, maybe a slow grind up to just this transitional zone somewhere between 5,725 and 5,740. And cutting that in half is yesterday's high. So that would be my main bullish area. If there's a breakout, there's quite a bit of open interest at 5,750. So those are the things I'll be looking at with respect to options and also just how we're setting up on the day. From a price momentum standpoint, we just kind of covered this, but on this news, the 5 minutes actually going bullish, the 10 minutes testing, 30 minute and 4 hour are bearish, and the situation is pretty much the same on the NASDAQ. The shortest time is getting a little bit of a green bullish bump off of that EU news, but the medium time frame, the 30 minute and the 4 hour, still favoring the bears. Obviously, right now, the normal pit session isn't open, so we can't track options, but as soon as it opens, we're clearly going to be tracking options. But with respect to options, I do want you guys to know one major thing. At some point yesterday, we got more of a pivot favoring the bears in the options market. So there's various tools out there. My favorite to use is Spot Gamma, but that's currently besides the point. There's various tools out there that tell you, are you put dominated? Are you call dominated? What's going on? And you can look at it for generically whatever expiration you want. You could do the 0 DTE. You could look at the next week, the next month, the entire chain. And as at some point yesterday, there was a shift that pushed everything back to being bearish. Coming into yesterday, it was already put dominated for today. It was put dominated for Monday, and it was put dominated on the entire chain. But in the shortest of terms, as in next week, there were a couple days that were a little bit more call dominated. But throughout the trading yesterday, whether it was people getting puts or getting added calls or maybe doing both, whatever, it ended up becoming put dominated. Across the board, the option chain is put dominated. So I find that you get quote unquote luckier when you're trading in the same direction where everything is pointing. So you look at price structure as in higher highs, higher lows, or lower highs, lower lows. You look at momentum such as above or below the EMAs. And then you look at not only the option chain, but also the intraday flow. I actually just empirically show it to you guys with me making money that when you trade with everything aligning one way or the other, your life is just so much easier. And it really does help you not get caught up in this idea of the craziness of, trying to take every breakout or breakdown. I think developing this bias of okay, which way is the overall true trend rather than I'm taking this breakout, I'm taking that breakdown, I'm buying this high, I'm buying that low, whatever. That's where things just get really, really complicated. And that's where you're susceptible to whipsaw. So I think if you are coming in and saying, no, I'm looking for either particularly a bullish or bearish opportunity, you then develop the patience to wait for that rather than trying to take every little price movement and it gets complicated and shit just clearly spirals. Even yesterday was a good example where you guys saw my second trade was stupid. I randomly took a short position because, I knew we were on the bearish side of things. I knew price momentum was bearish, but you know what wasn't bearish? The options flow. Option flow was going up, and I took a short position on the NASDAQ for seemingly no reason. So right there, it ended up playing out. I should have been a bit more patient. I should have waited for the options flow to break down, and then actually around 11:30 would have been a phenomenal play. But the point was that I tried to force a trade before all the things aligned. And actually on that particular note, that was actually so bad that I had to restart. So I am at a new batch of Apex accounts. So whatever number I am currently making, and ideally I can make some good money today, I just want you to know it is not cumulative on the other numbers that we saw this week. So I'm hitting the restart button. And do we have time? Oh, we don't really have time for this. I kind of came to a realization at the gym yesterday and then also talking to a buddy of, I've been pitching to you guys that I need about 10K buffer in here, and the goal is to aggressively trade to get that. But I realized, did any of you guys notice that what I was doing by definition was not aggressive? What I was doing was generally I trade one contract. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be aggressive and trade two contracts. But my one contract in this new two contract system, I was taking off at a 10 to 12 point gain, as in about, $200, $240 gain. Well, that's not really that aggressive because if you're wrong, that you're going to be losing at double the rate. So instead of having a 2.5K drawdown, you have a 1,250 drawdown per contract. So I was taking an asymmetric situation, and I think there is some statistical argument that yes, maybe you should be aggressive and maybe you could catch a little bit of a lucky streak. But I feel like I was taking on all the negative aspects of being aggressive, as in doubling my contract size. So if it goes wrong, 2x as quick. But I wasn't getting the benefits of it because I was kneecapping myself because I was taking my profits too early. I was arbitrarily just taking it at 10 points. So it was very, very asymmetric. So I feel like this concept of, yes, aggressively growing your buffer just so you can go back to quote unquote trading normal. I think there's something to it, but I feel like the way I was actually executing it it was literally, I was only seeing the downsides of aggressively trading, and I wasn't really seeing the upsides, because on the new one, I was just kneecapping. Like, I was literally 10 points in and I just took it off. So I was thinking about that, and I don't think that the math really was mathing. I don't think the math was really doing exactly what I needed it to do. So kind of a back to the drawing board type of a situation. And I mean, this is fully expected, as I explained to all of you, and I've made multiple videos on it at this point, of like, when you trade aggressively, the odds of you blowing up are clearly higher, but I'm just doing it anyway because I want to, ideally, as quickly as I can, grow the buffer. Of course, you can do it with higher odds, but it's going to be slower by trading either the micros or trading one contract or waiting for the exact setup. Or on the other side, you could just go faster and kind of hope you get on that lucky streak, and within 3 to 5 days, get that buffer. And then from there, you could return to your normal trading style. So I think there's food for thought on both sides, but honestly, for me, I don't want to wait. I'd rather just like absolutely rip it and see how it goes. So I just wanted to share that with all of you. And very quickly, dingity ding ding ding, the world's largest casino is now open. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun. All right, remember, I'm not going to be doing anything for the first 10 to 15 to 20 minutes. We are doing a Payday Friday. It is pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. Shout out to Vanquish. You could use that code Goonie to get 10% off and get a free reset. So when you put those two together, if you're unlucky on your first test, well, it's a free reset. So it's actually even way better of a discount than just 10%. But remember, that code Goonie gets you 10% off and a free reset if you don't pass the test. I have my accounts ready to go. But once again, I'll just be waiting for that exact opportunity to trade today. The Qs are below their low from yesterday, so that's not so good. And then the SPY, we're right at that key level. We are right at that D-Day level. Are we going to, this is how yesterday played out. Yesterday, there's not only this downside gap fill at 5670.84. Yesterday, we hit 5670.94. So we didn't quite get the gap fill. We know 5675 is a huge open interest level. So just like yesterday, right out of the gate, we are testing a massively important level. Now, do we bounce or break from here? Your guess is as good as mine. Yesterday, we came down to it looked aggressive, and then we bounced for a good hour or two. Here, is there going to be enough in it? I don't know. We got the EU news. Maybe people like that. Or maybe on the EU news, on this little slight bounce up from where we were in pre-market trading, maybe they're just going to take this opportunity to get the fuck out, because this could get saucy. Here's a look at, we're going down out of the gate. Granted, we only have about 2 minutes worth of data, but the delta on the 0DT and the all expiration. Someone just bought longer duration calls. The calls are flat. People are buying 0DT puts is thus far the move on the S&P 500. And then looking at the Mag 7, people are the delta is really dropping. Call delta is dropping. Put delta is dropping. When the delta is going down, and it's going down that aggressively, generically not a good thing. The SPY just got a pop though. People are trying to basically save it right here. And I don't like that play makes sense because you're right at major support. Did we actually get the downside gap fill? We did. Yeah. Okay. So the downside gap fill on both the SPY and on SPX is officially hit. So there's no more gap in the chart. Both SPY, the ETF, and then the actual index got that gap fill just now. So gap is filled. I thought it was coming yesterday, and we got awfully close, but no cigar, and looks like we might be making a bit of a fresh low. Similar to yesterday, we can in real time see the spike in options. They're basically trying to do the exact same play as yesterday. Save it right at there. And it makes sense. It makes sense because if you're right, you're getting in at the low of day and you get to ride it all the way up. And then if you're wrong, you just cut your loss for a baby loss. You're like, oh, okay, it's not the low, and you get out. So it makes sense because at this point, people try to step in. And if I had done that, if I bought at this low, I'd maybe give it one more minute, but if it doesn't recover at this point, I'd probably just be cutting and be like, nope, I'm wrong. The bounce isn't coming. So it's a low risk, high reward opportunity. The accuracy of it kind of depends on other aspects of really when you're doing this. So I can't really, the accuracy is not going to be the same across the board. But just conceptually talking about buying the dip, that's what they're doing. They're buying the dip at a major support level, and you're doing it with minimal risk. So if you're right on this, even 1 in 10 times, if you get to ride it all the way back up, it pays off all the paper cuts that you might be sustaining. So We're going to see if this is a legit breakdown or if it's going to be like yesterday where people are just buying in. And I think the best indication we're going to have is be able to see which way options are flowing. And I could tell you the SPY was getting hit. Then there was a pop at 932 to save it. That quickly got faded. We might be having a little bit of a baby pop right now, but the Mag 7 is looking weak, brother. It is looking weak, brother. It is looking weak. Tesla's getting hit. Oh, how are my positions? I forgot that I should be checking those today. Okay. That's a nice gap up. I'm currently up 25% on NDX puts, and I'm currently up 15% on SPX puts. So that's a nice about 12 grand. So obviously I haven't done any trades yet. I'm just kind of waiting. I'm seeing Tesla get hit. I'm seeing Nvidia get hit and try to recover. Maybe they're trying to save it here. All I can tell you is this is a massively important level. There's a lot of open interest right here, and we have the trend line. So people tracking the options flow, they're going to care about this level. People playing the daily trend line, they're going to care about this level. And then also the people watching the psychological levels of like 5,700 or 5,650, they're probably saying, okay, like which way is this going to break? Do you want to play it back up to this key level, or do you want to play it down to this key level? Just to show you guys a little bit extra info right here. Let me reload this so you can see it. We have this giant node at 5675. These are the open interest for today. This is the 0DT open interest. I want to point out that the puts in play are 74% more than the calls in play. There's 101,000 calls in play. There's 174,000 puts in play. So clearly this is a put dominated day. So I care about the put nodes to see what is or isn't happening. Obviously we are very close to the 5675. i.e., while I'm saying watch it, either we bounce or we break. If we break, we're talking 5650, and then below that, we're talking 5600 with a little bit of a spike here at 5625. That's exactly why I have those levels marked out. In terms of the open interest change from market close yesterday to now, you can see there's new plays quite a bit on these puts, outpacing it once again, 47 compared to 38. Looking at the volume from last night, there's more volume on these calls. We're at 5680, so we're getting a little bit of a bounce. Quite a few sold calls, quite a few sold puts. This might be a little bit of a put credit spread down here. I just see this spike, but then those might be long, so this could literally just be a put credit spread. And then the expected move on the day is 43 points, or about 0.7%. I have a sneaky suspicion that it's going to be a bit higher than that. You can see that we are in negative gamma, negative delta on both the 0DT and the all expiration. And this is calling the path of least resistance all the way down to 5660. That will get interesting. All right, we're seeing potentially a little bit of a bounce out of here. We literally might be running back the playbook from yesterday, or maybe the bull camp ran out of energy yesterday and this just gets completely faded. The 5-minute is back in the bearish territory. 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, 4-hour are all bearish. 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, 4-hour, all bearish. So let's review. As of right now, price structure is a bit more bullish, actually, just based on what we have today. I'm seeing we made a fresh high off this low. So we have this low, this high. Actually, in reality, we don't have like much to go off of. So maybe this is, oh, wait, and like just get more data. So in terms of the intraday price structure, yeah, you could call the gap down, but in reality, we went lower, then we made a fresh high, but we really don't have enough. We have a high and we have a low. So like price structure, I would say, is indecisive. Price momentum is bearish. Momentum is bearish. Then coming back to the options flow, the SPY getting a rip ever since 934, and then the Mag 7 looking bearish. So those two completely just don't agree. You have the Mag 7 literally just double bottoming here on its own delta reading, but then for whatever reason in the SPY, you have clear call buying and kind of the put deltas going up too. So those 0DT puts, I guess they're a little bit bummed out that we just didn't get this breakdown. So patience, because we're just seeing different things. Similar to yesterday, we are currently getting mixed messages. Momentum is on one side, put chains on the other side, put flows on one side, and then price structures on another side. So right now, and then also on top of it, to add to the complication, we're seeing the Mag 7 and the Mag 7 looking wildly different than the SPY. So just completely different take on the situation, which means just patience. If things don't align, you just don't do shit. You just don't do shit. Someone said Nvidia's ripping. No, it's up 70 cents. It's $112 stock. Nvidia is not ripping. It's up 70 cents. It's $100 stock. It's not even up $1, dude. I think you need to recalibrate your definition of ripping. It's not even up 1%. I did it. I passed my eval on Apex and locked in an account at 1,600. Dude, that is awesome. Congrats. That's so sick. That's so sick. All right, let me save this over here. What's the options flow? Mag 7's picking up a little bit. SPY is now flat. So SPY had the big pump and now it's going flat. So let's just see if there's another wave or if this is the high, if this is like a bit of a dead cat bounce and we're just coming back to like mess up this area. Here's a look at the flow. Yeah, see how we pumped and now we're just going flat. It seems like the call buying and the put selling kind of just stopped at 9:37. I do want to remind everyone that a consumer sentiment report comes out at 10 a.m. So be on the lookout for that one. But calls picking up a little bit more here. The Mag 7 puts were being purchased, then closed. Calls were being sold. And now ever since 9:38, calls kind of being bought back. Wildly different from each other. Yeah, the Mag 7 was getting hit. It's trying to fight here. Now it's looking a little bit questionable. What's going on with the SPY? We're seeing maybe the Mag 7 starting to get clocked while the SPY is right at its intraday high. We're just like awkwardly at this decision zone. Nvidia, hey, it's actually up $1 now. Congrats. You got the full buck. It is looking good. I mean, we puked for 2 minutes, but then from then just higher highs and higher lows. Tesla is telling you. Actually, Nvidia and volatility are the only green things on my watch list right now. Everything else is red. That's a little bit of an interesting potential. We are below VWAP. This might be a classic VWAP rejection type of a situation. What time is it? It's 9:42. You guys could tell that I was really thinking about taking that. Oh, brother. 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 We pumped up, hit VWAP, a little bit of a structural change. I didn't take it because this is exactly what I did yesterday. I got into a play before options really agreed. Like the options flow was not supportive of like the direction of the trade I was taking. So I'm basically trying to not do that today. You guys saw it. My first trade I really liked. You could argue it was a little bit early, but even right here, learning from yesterday, I'm not seeing the biggest capitulation. Oh, actually, the Mag 7 just went fucking nuts. What the fuck happened there? Is that Nvidia? Is that what's pushing the Mag 7? It is. You had calls are being purchased on Nvidia and puts are being closed out. Well, now they're being purchased back, but we just saw that weird burst right here, and it does seem to be in one way or another related to Nvidia. Of course, it could also be related to other ones, which maybe we should go through that list. How's Tesla looking on the day? Tesla's not really doing much. Nvidia, Meta, nope, spell it. Why is this not working? Meta, just someone dropped calls on Meta. Interesting. How's Meta's? Wait, are we coming back down? I don't want to miss my trade. Remember, we are in negative gamma, as in whatever way we get going, we could legit get going. Someone just smashed it. Look at this. Someone spiked the Mag 7 and then just utterly smashed it. What the fuck was that? Dude. And someone just smashed the SPY as well. Yeah, so it tried to go above VWAP. All right, I'm kind of watching that trend line. Oh, I'm trying to vibe this out. Team. What time is it? 9:44. Do I want to swing big today? It is a payday Friday. It is a payday Friday. It is, in fact, a payday Friday. Do I want to swing big on this trade? Do I want to go for it? Someone dumped the Mag 7 right there. Like, that's a huge hit. I'm swinging it.
Order filled.
We're swinging it. We're going for it. The odds of success are low, but if I hit it, it will be glorious. If I hit it, it will be glorious. We're going to see. We're going to see if I could pull a rabbit out of the hat. The SPY is testing its low from yesterday. The Q's rejected at the lows from yesterday. We are breaking the wick of 938. We had this pushback up, seemed to have failed. Maybe support's being found here. I'm kind of watching this, thinking, all right, we're right at this open interest. Basically, the bet is that this open interest level does not hold. 675 has a lot of open interest on it. I mean, I could even show it to you right here. This is all the open interest at 675. It's probably the second largest one of the day, with the largest one of the day being 5650. So my idea is if this snaps, we have an easy flush all the way to 5650, which is 25 points or $2.50 in the SPY. So that's some nice room if we can get it. If we can get it. All right, I am up, but only up barely. And now I'm back down. Basically break even, trying to take this trend line breakdown, and really I try to have the patience to wait for various things to align. And when you're trading big, especially on these accounts, like it's just so easy to blow them out because you only have such a small drawdown. Ideally, the smart way to do it is to probably trade micros, just because then you can actually withstand any like hit. While with this, you could be in a good trade, but still, like if it whips against you, you could like pretty much blow out. It's really not that hard to blow out 2.5K when trading futures. See Tesla turning back around. Nvidia took a pretty gnarly hit there at 943, which we kind of saw in the Mag 7 over here. But anyway, look at that. That just got smoked. I think it is specific to Nvidia. Yeah, Nvidia had, well, was there another one that also got smoked? Tesla got smoked. Nvidia got smoked. Everything kind of took a hit. Apple took a little one. Apple's looking good. Microsoft took a hit. So actually a lot of the Mag 7 right here, someone was unloading. And to be specific about it, they sold calls, and so the put delta dropped and the call delta dropped. So both of them dropped, which caused that little flush right there. But are we just making a higher low, or is this about to snap? I see Tesla picking up. I see Nvidia picking up slightly. This trend line break, is it going to go against me day one? Oh, I wish we had this flush. I was trying to be patient. I said, okay, we snapped these lines, but I was trying to trade on the right side of this, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30. Yeah. The price momentum is bearish. We had options flow go bearish. I waited for the things to align, and then you just kind of, the die are in the air. That's all you could do. I truly, truly believe with these accounts, you have one of two options, referring to these futures accounts. You either trade at the start patiently and grow your buffer, trading something like a micro or maybe only one contract on a mini, but you wait for those perfect opportunities. And like, you have to be like just real tight with it and try to get up to at least $5,000 in buffer, but ideally 10. Or the other side is you just go like hardcore for your first, whatever, 2, 3, 4, 5 days and hope that your luck's on your side and you could crush those initial trades. Like, that's kind of the way to do it. In my humble opinion, at least. So we're going to see. We're going to see. Micros take forever. Yeah, I mean, they're both viable. I mean, in the past when I did it, all the times I've gotten those payouts, not even the last run, but pretty much all the times I've done it, and this might have a little bit to do with streaming. I just like trading aggressive at the start. I'd rather take the higher odds of blowing out, but then if I can hit it, like I just build out the buffer quicker. Like, I care more about the time efficiency than the financial efficiency. So it kind of depends what you are, I guess, like optimizing. So the fastest way to do it is to just try to get lucky for the first couple days, trade big, and hopefully it goes in your way. But the odds of you blowing out are higher, so you might have to do it a couple cycles. On the other side, you can increase the chances of you passing and go the slow route and trade more of the micros. So like it's kind of like your own personal opinion on what you would rather do. Would you rather be more time efficient or more financially efficient? Because the time efficiency is being aggressive. The financial efficient is, well, like not buying all the accounts. So like one is optimizing how quickly you could do it. The other one is optimizing how cheaply you could do it. So it's kind of up to you. What's efficient about restarting your futures account every day? Well, you wouldn't do it every day, obviously, but it's because when you get the buffer, then you already have the big buffer, and then you're already that much closer to getting payouts. Wait, is that a serious question? Because if you go the slow route, it takes forever to get the payout. If you go the fast route and you hit it, then like a max payout on 20, 50K accounts is 40K. Like really, you don't understand that? That's not like computing for you? Seriously? I kind of thought everyone was on the same page with that, and everyone just kind of understood the basic nature of how that works. I don't know, math? Do I have to explain like the linear nature of time to you? Like it seems pretty basic. I think it was more so of bashing your recent performance. I've been paid out $200,000 year to date from this. Feel free to bash it, but at the end of the day, I've gotten more in payouts than pretty much everyone in here, probably most of you guys combined. So you could bash it, but I've made $250,000 from December till now doing it. So I win. I don't know. Like if you think it's I'm going to dunk on Matt situation because he blew out a couple accounts, I've made $250,000 from December until March. In 3 months, I've made 3 to 5x what you make in a year. So, okay, bash it. Like at the end, who actually wins here? like what? Oh, that's so fucking comical. Okay. Answer yourself this. Would you rather be you thinking that you pulled off some like low level internet dunk, or would you rather be me up $250,000 just on this? Who like, I guess enjoy the internet dunk? I don't know. Go for it. I think it's anyone with a room temperature IQ would realize who's the real winner here. I wouldn't get too worked up about it. People always have something to say. Oh, they always have something to say. That's the internet. That's I guess the world we're in. But it seems like he got awfully quiet when it quickly goes my way. Feels like he got awfully quiet there, Tonto, going my way. Wait, where is it? Is 70 IQ high? Oh, it's super high. Super high, dude. If you have a 70 IQ, you're cooking. We should call you Einstein, not Doc. Well, you are a doctor. Your name literally says Dr. J. I'm pretty sure Matt says not to follow him exactly. No, you shouldn't follow me. Like following other people's trades, it's a really tough game because you don't know how they view the market. You don't know if they're on tilt or if they're having a good day. You don't know their risk tolerance. You don't know if they have to get out of a trade early because they're going to whatever, a doctor. Like it's one thing to learn from people in terms of like how to view the market. For sure, understand that. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, to be able to teach things such as like gamma and delta and charm and structural breakdown and various things aligning. Like, okay, yeah, all of that is good stuff. For sure, that is all good stuff. See, actually, this is the one math thing I really hate about these accounts is I was up whatever this value was right here to 45, And your drawdown is now based off of this. Even though I'm break even on this trade, that's why we had a really good discussion on this in the Discord yesterday. Like if there is a point that you're going to be hyper aggressive, it should probably be on the first trade, just to try to build out the buffer. Like everything that I've learned from this personally, but then also just like running the math of these things, the success for sim defunded all comes down to, do you have a reasonable buffer to work with? Because when you first start out, you have no reasonable buffer whatsoever. So the name of the game is can you catch a streak where, okay, you build out the buffer and you could do like the things that are more reasonable. And this situation, when I'm talking about the reasonable buffer, remember the trailing drawdown is based on your unrealized high. So right here, it's based as if I like had perfect profit at 45.50, when in reality, the trade is still open. So there is a situation in which you go up 2K, it pulls back 1,500, but it's going to be basing it off that. So you only have $500 worth of like buffer from that, which once again, there is, when you are first starting these, I think it takes quite a bit of skill for continual growth on these types of accounts, because it's just, do you have a good trading system or not? But the initial effort, either it's all skill and you go the slow and steady route, or you go for luck on the first couple trades. Like that's how you do it. I am actually getting legitimately nervous. And speaking of luck, I'm about to see if I do or don't get lucky. This consumer sentiment report coming out in about, about 3 minutes. Fuck, do I want to take this risk on? We have a data report coming out pretty soon. How much that went up? About 40 points. Yeah, fuck, dude. How do I want to play? Do I want to just try to get lucky and see if we puke here? I mean, literally, this report comes out in 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and I could either hit this buffer or maybe not. Take it. It's your strategy. This isn't really a strategy right now. Well, it is. I'm just trading it with bigger size. It's something. 1,500, 75, 82 minus 7.
Order submitted.
That's the most I could go for. I might close it early. I might just hit this close button, but that's the most I could theoretically go for. But I am worried about this consumer sentiment report, like legitimately concerned, because like it's just a 50-50. Like we're flipping a coin right now. We're flipping a coin, and it could wick up and fuck me over, or it could wick down and I could seem like a genius. And in reality, it's just, are you on the lucky side? The lucky side, or knowing my luck, it's going to go up enough to blow out the accounts and then quickly go to my like profit target anyway. There's always that. I have 2 minutes to figure this out. Let's talk about it from a game theory perspective. I have two. I could lock in this right now and lock in one and like lower my risk and give myself a fighting chance. So that's probably the reasonable thing to do. I could be a bit more conservative and just put my stop to break even, but I don't like that because of the buffer. Once again, when you're first coming to these accounts, it always comes back to the buffer. So I would do that had I already had a buffer for sure. But the fact that I don't have a buffer, I'm not the biggest fan of that particular technique right now. So you have to when it comes to these sim defund, I'm telling you, the more and more I've thought about it, the more and more I've modeled it, it comes back to, do you have a buffer? And if you do, okay, like, are you growing your buffer? Do you have good buffer management? That is the wildly important thing. The wildly important thing. Where is this? This is the 100 tick. So in a normal circumstance, had I been trading my own funded account or had I a buffer, I would be putting my stop at break even without a doubt. No questions asked. That's exactly what I would be doing. I wouldn't even think twice about it. But right now I'm playing the game. Wait, we started moving, but we're a minute early. We're a minute early, team. We are a minute early really quickly. We are SPX did break this. I still think there's a reasonable, I think this is my next, well, I know this is my next target. The fact that we broke 71, 75, I think that we're going to this giant open interest level. It's just a question of when. Are we going to bounce on this consumer sentiment report? So the SPY made a fresh low. The Qs didn't, which is kind of screwing me over right now. I kind of need that fresh low. Tesla, NVIDIA. All right. The sentiment report, we're going for it at this point. I mean, I have 12 seconds. We're going to see if Lady Luck favors me today. Lady Luck, Lady Luck, Lady Luck. Oh, Lady Luck! Lady Luck! No, Lady Luck, don't do this to me. Lady Luck. Oh, it was so close. Lady Luck. No. Toying with my heart. Toying with my heart, Lady Luck. How could she do that? How? Yeah, I just got fucked over. Lady Luck. Lady Luck. We did get the Michigan numbers as well. Come on, load. Michigan expectations, 52.6, forecast 54, which is why we flashed down. Breaking University, Michigan sentiment 57, forecast 57.9. Yo, is Lady Luck coming back for Mateo? Is Lady Luck turning the ship around to pick up the poor boy lost on the Titanic door? Come get me. Lady Luck, come back for me. I'm stranded. I'm stranded on a desolate island. Save me. Come for me. Come for me, Lady Luck. You could do it. Save me. Don't leave me. She was turning the ship around for a second. Come save me. Save me. I'm kind of at the point that this trade either hits or I blow out. What's the current drawdown? Because of how quickly this flashed, I basically now have no drawdown. And it's just how you have to deal with things when you're first starting out. The account's basically on a 50K account. It's when you're below 52.5. So like I said, when you're first starting, there is a good aspect. You either take the conservative route and grow it micros, or you go the degen route and hope you could catch a lucky trade or two. Come on. Lady Luck, for old Mateo. For old time's sake, you could do it, girl. You could do it, girl. You could do it, girl. Don't go against me. Break it down. No. 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 Don't recover 50. Let's just snap 29. Snap 29. You could do it. How are things looking? The SPY had a big flash almost to 50. It hit 52. So there was probably some pending orders right there. Fuck. Uh-oh. We're right above 50 now. That doesn't make me feel so good. No. I don't like that pump. I'm not a fan of this pump. Fuck. Break it down. Be a fake out. Ruin their dreams. All right, here's a look at the Mag 7 flow. Actually just hit its lowest of the day on that Michigan and consumer sentiment, also the SPY. So we're getting a little bit of a reversionary bounce off that very, very volatile pump or dump right there. But Lady Luck, dude, she's getting close. Come for me, my siren. You could do it. It got so fucking close. It hit 14 and I had this order in way before at 7. If only my fill were 7 points earlier. If I got that fill at 90, my math would have had it right up here and it would have perfectly gotten me. We're finding support here. Come on. No. every single time I think, oh, okay, like right there, it dove, right there, it dove, it pumped. I thought I was screwed, dove right again. It's finding support right here, which is such a pain in the ass. Such a pain in the ass. We're still below this breakdown level, and we technically didn't hit 50, but we got awfully close on that report. Awfully close. The SPY delta's looking bad. The Mag 7 delta's looking bad. It's just, I'm on the right side of the trade. The question is, will my buffer get hit first? And that's like the shitty thing. Obviously, this doesn't exist when you have your own funded account, but that's just how this shit goes sometimes, folks. Come on. Come for me. Come fill this 19,807. Fill it up. Can Matt get lucky? Don't answer that. No, fuckers. Just break down. Give us the flush. Give us the flush. You can do it. Just fucking smash it. There we go. All right. All right. If we get close and it starts to revert, I might ditch early. I don't have to be so pig-headed to say it has to be exactly that level. I'm watching. I could always ditch one and let the other one ride. This is all the buffer game, team. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. We're almost there. We're almost there. 12 points. 12 points. 12 points. Shit. No. The odds of reverting off their two standard. Come on. Get smashed. Get smashed. Get smashed. Come on. Come on. No. It made a fresh low. Hit off 10. Do it.
Order filled.
I'm a fucking god. Fucking god. Warren Buffett is washed up. 60K tagged and bagged day one. 20 accounts, 3K. Dude. Fucking. Dude. Dude. Those are hundreds. Dude. Those are. Fuck. Dude. What? Where's that guy that was talking shit on me? Where is he? Hey, where's that guy? Where's that guy who's talking shit on me? Bring him to the front of class. Bring him to the front of class. We have someone to guillotine. Bring him here. Where is he? You guys want to know something really fucking disgusting? Is the fact that I'm quadruple dipping on this. Look at that. $25,000 in a day. Year to date, up 210. 210. Dude, called out in real time yesterday. 15K, 10K. That's a nice 25K there. Oh, did I forget to tell you? I'm also quadruple dipping. Another 7.5. Dude, he does it. Dude, maybe he's Maybelline. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he's Maybelline. Maybe I'm perfectly calling out these fucking levels to all you dimwits, and also all the super smart people as well. But it's just easier to be like more verbose. I really hope we're all just making money together. It does make my day more exciting. I don't want any of you guys to be losing money. I honestly want you guys to be making a shitload of money. But yeah, that's why you should be in the Discord, because I teach you how to be as lucky as I am. I think there's a lot of people who approach the market and they're like, teach me technicals, teach me options. How do I read fundamentals? And folks, that's not what trading is. Trading is how lucky are you? I help you guys understand where the cosmos aligns depending on your zodiac a sign, and are you going to be lucky or not? I procure and sell the luckiest of rabbit's feet. Every single Wednesday and Sunday, I tattoo horseshoes onto the members' back so they're lucky from there. Like we go over everything you could do in life to be more lucky. That's what I teach you how to do. Like 100%. If you're coming into the Discord and you're like, yeah, I'd like really love to learn about the market and like what is gamma, what is flow? Like we don't teach that because that is not how you win in trading. You win in trading by are you lucky? So obviously it makes sense to optimize your luck. We get you lucky shirts. We get you lucky underwear. That's what trading is. Trading is, are you lucky? Yes or no? And right now, if you guys be honest, if you're a losing trader and be honest about it, you're just not lucky. You got to learn how to be lucky. You got to do I've learned many things from being a professional fisherman in the digital landscape of RuneScape, in the digital world of RuneScape. And the major thing I've learned is that if you're trying to progress in anything, you're going to want to do things that add bonuses onto those skills. That's my main takeaway from being the world's best fisherman in RuneScape. So I would say on any given basis, you need to add luck. And so like right now, if you're sitting there like bitching and moaning that you didn't make money, did you do anything to be more lucky today? Did you? Or were you the dum-dum that walked under a ladder yesterday? Were you the weirdo who let a black cat run in front of you and you crossed its path? There's things that you can do that make you lucky, but then there's all those things you could do that are actively bringing down your luck level. So if you're, I don't know, do you know how many people come to the Discord and they're like, yeah, Matt, I don't know the big issue. I walked under like 18 different ladders yesterday. Like, why am I losing money? Well, duh, dude. You literally removed multiple luck levels from your overall being. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Oh my God. I will avoid stepping on cracks. Are you telling me you've been stepping on cracks this morning? Oh my fucking God, dude. You better call your mom, and you also better call a chiropractor because this could get really bad. I don't know if you understand what happens when you step on a crack, but I'm telling you, without giving away the gory details, please call your mother and then please call a chiropractor because it's not a good situation. It is not a good situation. Jeez, dude, these people, like, it's like, how many people do I have to teach about this shit? Oh, cool. It's about $6,000 more because I did all the things this morning to be lucky. Like, I just don't know if you guys, like, you're just not really understanding it. You're just not understanding what I'm telling you here. Oh, dude, that's almost 10K. That's sick. Terrible humor. Well, I hope you have a great day. I hope that my bad jokes are the low of your day and it ends up getting way better from here. So I hope you fucking put that in a pipe and smoke it because that's super mean. And you don't necessarily have to be that mean when it comes to engaging with people on the internet. I don't know what I did to you, but you don't have to be mean to me. And I think you should think about that as a person because sometimes you say things on the internet and it makes a grown man cry in the shower for a couple days. So, yeah, maybe think about that next time, Mr. Clay. Dude, terrible humor. You know who had terrible humor? Your parents fucking naming you after wet dirt. I have terrible humor. It seems like your life has terrible humor. Dude, your parents literally sat there and said, what should we name our son? Like, you were just born and they were fighting for days and weeks and months. And they're like, should we name him after your grandfather? Should we name him after our favorite 14th century Chinese warrior? And they're like, no, how about we name him after fucking wet dirt? And you think my humor is terrible? My humor? Like, okay. Yeah, maybe it's not the best. I never pitched this show as being a fucking stand-up comedian. But dude, your parents named you Wet Dirt. Wet Dirt. I'm just saying, I don't know. It feels like you're really throwing stones from a glass house, brother. Oh, Mr. fucking Wet Dirt in here has a big problem with my shitty jokes. I hope he is a paid protagonist. Oh, you can't make everyone happy. There's some people who expect like a Dave Chappelle level of comedy here, and then there's other people who are named after not even normal dirt, like wet dirt. I just can't make everyone happy. Folks, the fact that we snapped this, I'm telling you, 5625, next level of interest. That's this node right here, 5625. We just snapped the huge open interest level of 5650. So I'm watching 5625 followed by 5600. Those would be my if-then statements. Just stop, Matt. Just stop, Matt. Same could be said about your name. Yours is something you wipe your feet on. No, actually, mine is Matthew, who, I don't know, just happens to be a fucking disciple of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. You know, that one guy, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, who sacrificed his life for all of our sins. You know, like how he had 12 really cool friends, and like his coolest of his friends was this guy named Matthew. So, I don't know, really fucking cool dude who was best friends with God and also the Son of God. And I think sometimes they're the same, but sometimes they're not, because the Bible is really, really confusing about like sometimes Jesus is God, but then other times he's the Son of God. So that inherently means that logically it's a fallacy because he's like the son of himself, which I don't know. I don't think that really works. But regardless, super cool dude. And yeah, I happen to be named after one of his guys who were his best friends ever. I don't know. I don't know. I think the Hebrew is God of gods. Pretty sure. Pretty sure the rough translation of Matthew is God of gods. So wet dirt on one side and then the God of gods on the other side. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe. But honestly, did the book ever get to the point, and when I say the book, I mean the Bible, did it ever explain why Jesus is God, but then is also the Son of God? Did anyone did they ever really get to that one? Matthew also turned his back on the other Jews. Oh yeah, no, I like to mimic my life off of the OG Matthew. So are you Latino potato, are you saying that's a bad thing? Are you saying that's good or bad? I'm confused. I want to know what side of the argument I'm supposed to be on this particular one. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are all one. He's the Holy Spirit too? God damn that guy's resume. Damn. What a busy work schedule that guy must have. Oh, 67%, 58%, crushing, cooking, making money. Everything's bearish right now. Life is bearish. It's going. It's really going. Dude, do you know how lucky this is? The pure, unadulterated level of luck involved in this. Oh, I really think I might be the luckiest trader on this side of the Mississippi. Matt, what is the next support for NQ? I would be saying more watch SPX bouncing at 5625. I'd be using this as like my general sentiment of could we bounce or not, but I'm very much the fact that we bounced, we broke, we flushed to this next level. I'd be watching right here. It is a big open interest level, so I'd be expecting some form of reaction. So watching that. How much money am I up? Oh, 11K. Hey, this account broke 100. Ooh, actually kind of a fun story. This account broke 100K and this account broke 300K. That's nifty. Hey, that's nifty. You broke a mirror. You shouldn't trade today. You should not. You shouldn't be. If you actually broke a mirror today, I highly, highly recommend you do not trade today. Like, my biggest financial advice to you would simply to not be trading today. You probably want to say a couple Hail Marys. Maybe you want to help a grandma across the street, but you have to do something to counteract that. Like, I mean, trade if you want, but you're going to probably lose all of your money. Big Smooth says, let's do the payday. Yeah, let's do the payday. Let's give away some Vanquish accounts here. Let's give away some cold hard cash. It's about that time. Let's get ready for it. Remember, it's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. You can find the link there. It's the first pinned message on locals. We're going to pick 3 people off of locals, which is on the screen right now. And then obviously we're going to pick 1 chat member from Rumble, 1 chat member from old BoobTube, and we're going to be going from there. So get ready, get your lucky rabbit's foot, get on your lucky underwear. Hang on, we're not guessing quite yet, because technically I did post it at 10:30, so we're just going to get prepared. We're just going to dashboard. Oh, I need to log in. Giveaways. Okay, that is going. It's kind of picking up you guys and whatever you're saying right now, so that's working. Another thing we need to do is get the game up and going. We're going to get ready, but I'll explain how this all works. Dude, Velvet Kohrs. I need to text the producer. Yo, my producer's really sick. I kind of feel bad for him. Yo, you alive? He's been sick. If you guys see him on the streets, understand he's been battling the flu. Some think he might be pregnant, so give him well wishes. He says it's the flu, maybe even food poisoning. I think there's a better chance than not that he's pregnant. So, Barely, what's up? Can you? No worries. Get some rest. Let me. Fuck. How can I do it on my phone? I need to set a video live for you guys, because I really want you to see this video, because it breaks down a very similar play to what just happened. Switch account. I'm here. Yes. 10:30. Okay, we're going to be getting that up and going. We have the random number. All right, let's start picking our people. Let's start picking our competitors, because why not? Let's give away some cash. That's what happens when you make cash. Speaking of that, how are we looking today? Dude, it's up. What the fuck was this misprint? It said up 121,000. That never happened. That was definitely a little bit of a data mess up. That would have been sick, dude. If I made $121,000 in a day, I wouldn't even have need for clothes anymore. I would just straight up not wear clothes at all. But I am up 39,000, which is pretty sick, on top of another 11,000. So that's 50 on top of the 60 that I made here. So thus far, things are breaking the way of Mateo. And why did no one tell me that it might be bouncing right here? Like, why did no one in the entire world of trading say, hey, there's a chance we bounce exactly at 5625? Like, does that ever just bum you guys out that there's people out there who are just like not helpful at all? And you're just like, dude, I kind of wish like maybe I knew we would have bounced at 5650. And then if we broke that down, why did we not? Like, why did no one out there tell us that we might be bouncing at 5625? Like, no one. Like, it's just like someone out there really needs to step up to the plate and just tell us the levels to trade off of per day, you know? Like, I wish there was just a person who understood the market properly and just told us, hey, this is major support. Hey, this is major resistance. Hey, Like, this is the options flow. Are we breaking or not? Like, it just doesn't exist, which is a huge bummer, if you ask me. Anyway, let's do the giveaway. By the way, if this snaps, watch this. Watch this level down here. All the way down here. 5,600. It's this giant open interest node. Actually, dude, there's a lot of sold premium at 5,565. Lot of volume at 5,600. Dude, this is getting some action. This is getting more action than that. What's her name? Bonnie Blue? The fuck's her? Is that her name? Bonnie Blue? That blonde chick? That made love with 1,000 dudes? Is her name Bonnie Blue? I think it is. Anyway, this node, this strike is getting more action than that. So I just want to call that out just in case craziness happens while we are doing a Payday Friday giveaway. All right, we got to pick someone off of YouTube. We got to pick someone off of Rumble. We got to pick 3 people off of locals. I will do locals last, so you still have time to sign up for locals. So let's get rocking. Let's get rocking. Let's get rocking. Let's get rocking. Settings, giveaway. It's going to be anyone can win. It's a number from 1 to 100, and we are going in 3, 2, 1. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Looks like it's a high number. It's between 1 and 100. 1 and 100. It looks like it was Moose. Is your name Moose? Like a really creative way to say Moose? I think it's Moose. Well, congrats, Moose. And if your name isn't Moose, I'm sorry, but maybe your name should be Moose because that's a pretty fucking sick name. All right. Random number generator. We're going to be doing this for Rumble between 10 and 25. Generate 20. 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. All right. So what I'm going to do is count for 20 comments past Ecto. Ecto is on the bottom here. So let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. MX Sisters. Hitting me with the LOL. MX Sisters. So Moose is representing YouTube, and then we have MX Sisters representing Rumble. And now we got to pick the 3 people off of locals. There was 144 comments. I think that's the most we've ever had. That's sick. 144. So we got to pick 127. We got to pick 115. And we got to pick 53. 53, 115, and 127. So these are in chronological order, and there's 25 per page, which means that this person's number 25. If we go to the second page, that means the one at the bottom is 50. That's the math on 25 plus 25. Feel free to check that math with a calculator, but I had to ask Stephen Hawking about it last night, so I'm pretty sure it's right. So that number is 50. Let's go to page 3. Let's go to page 3. Let's load. Let's load. Let's load. Let's go to page 3. Come on. It's thinking. It's thinking. Jesus, this is getting cracked. Let's go to 600. Are we on page 3? Dude, it is really thinking. Are you guys like bringing down their website? Hello. Okay. 51, 52, 53. Devil guy. Wow, that's aggressive. Devil guy. Jesus. Okay. If that's really how you think. So the next page, page 4 would be, we had 25, 50. This is going to be 75. So 4 would be, the bottom would be 100. So we're going to jump to page 5 because we need page 5. Come on. 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115. Tire Slayer? Like you just killed tires? Okay. 115. The bottom of this page is 125. 126, 127. Trex. You got selected, dude. Trex, congrats. So we have Moose from YouTube, MX Sisters from Rumble, Devil Guy, Tire, and Trex all from locals. We have our 5 competitors. Oh boy. Oh, Jesus Christ. Dude, 49,000. 30. 49,000 on another 15. Dude, it's going to be a 50K day. Yo, your boy might not survive the weekend. Dude, walking into the weekend, 50K deep, and it's the first nice, sunny, summery, warm day of the weekend here in New York. Dude, the temperature's going to be clocking 80. Dude, your boy might not make it to the other side. Your boy might not be making it to the other side. Jesus. Where was I? All right, we did that. Oh, I need to get the game. Why did the game not load? Games, view games library. All right. If this isn't quickly recovered, 5,600 is the level. If this isn't very, very quickly recovered. Oh, it's just getting sold. Just getting sold. Hang on quickly. This is going to come as no surprise to anyone, but Piper did fire. Piper did fire, and I think you guys probably know the direction. You probably know it. All right, I'm just quickly putting in Piper in the Discord. Oh, all right, that's in there. Piper fired, and then on top of that, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour bearish, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour bearish. We're right below this support. If it doesn't quickly recapture, look for a plummet all the way down to 5,600. If it does recapture, watch 5,650. Here's a look at the options flow. Let me switch it over to the 30-second. The SPY puked all the way up to 1030. We're getting a little bit of a bounce now. Let's see if it actually becomes anything. Mag 7, similar situation, a puke all the way down to 1029. So that's what I'm watching, and it's getting cracked, dude. 46, 14. I can't whistle today. Mexico President Sheinbaum, we're in talks with the U.S. to protect jobs. Ooh. Looks like we are getting some saucy financial tariff news. Mexico's President Sheinbaum, USMC, that is the auto thing, helps North America compete against China. We're in talks with the U.S. to protect jobs in Mexico. Feds Daily, I have not changed the interest rate path since last year. It doesn't have enough info to make a change. I'm hearing cautious optimism for businesses. The fuck you are, lady. We are making sure we are on sustainable path to 2%. Fuck, dude, it is getting murked. It is getting murked right now. Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I mean, if this still just gets stumped, I think we're talking 5,600. Next technical level, next psychological level. I mean, I wouldn't be chasing this down now because unless you're just risking this recent one, but if you are, that's very close by. But if you're riding it down, you could either look for the recapture 25 or like I wouldn't be getting out early. I'd be looking at within 5 points of this. This is brutal. This is brutal. Holy shit. 53. Another 15. Dude, cool levels. First time I've had this count over 100. First time I've had this account over 300. That's fucking nuts. Look at that dagger. Look, dude. Do you guys want to know why you should be watching the update videos? This is posted 15 hours ago. We're fucked. The stock market is set to crash. Watch before market open. Like, can I I don't think there's a way I can make it more apparent. I really don't. This was posted before the market opened today. We're fucked, pretty aggressive. The stock market is set to crash. Watch before market open. If only someone warned us. If only someone warned us. But alas, it didn't happen. It simply did not happen. Dude, we're going for it. We're going for it. All right. Continue. Race. Random. Ooh, Vol's Lab. This one looks like it's going to be interesting. All right. Where are the settings? Add names. We have Moose. We have MX Sisters. We have Devil Guy. We have Tire Slayer. And then we have Trex. Shout out. These are our competitors for the day. Let's get rocking with it. Let's see who's going to be winning here. What song do we want to... Dude, Vol's Lab. This one looks like it's going to be interesting. Which song do we want to get rocking out to? Daddy Pal, Stealing Your Girl, Prince Don't Lie. Dude, I love it. All right, folks. You know what I've said before. You know what I'm going to say again. This is a prison rules marble race, as in there are no rules. All that matters is who wins. This is a winner-take-all race of some of the fastest people, the fastest marble racers on the entire planet. Some would say even in the entire galaxy. So I don't need to introduce these racers. They're already world renowned. You know who they are. You know who they aren't. And what we really need to say is, ladies and gentlemen, and all the marbles in between, start your engines because we are going in 3, 2, 1. All right. We're starting off on the Bunsen burner. Who's going? We're in a beaker of some sort. A moving beaker. Jesus. What is this? What are we doing? What evil son... Uh-oh. Beakers. What is happening? MX gets the first drop, but we are in some meth lab. It's really tough to race in a meth lab. All right. They're going down some invisible tunnels here. How are we doing it? Moose coming out of the gate like a herd of buffalo. Devil gets the first drop, followed by Trex, followed by Moose, followed by MX Sisters, followed by Tire Slayer. And then Trex is dead, caught in a flame. Oh, no. They're all dead. Oops. Well, this is awkward. They're all dead, dude. That happened so quick. They're all dead. The winner is no one. Oh, all right. We're going to have to run it again on a map that's not so aggressive. How do we go? Random track here. Let's bring them all back. All right. We've now moved to the icy Swiss Alps. So we're going to get running again. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the prison rules, I think we're taking a little bit too aggressively, I must admit. So anyway, we're going to try again because we just reincarnated them and my insurance cannot handle any more deaths, but this one seems to be also treacherous. But anyway, race number 2. Let's see if someone can survive. We're running in 3, 2, 1. All right. All of them have been retrieved from heaven, the skies above, and we're going to see if this changes anything. All right, Devil getting the first drop once again. Trex taking the right path wall. Oh, Trex M sisters. Devil, Moose, and Tire coming down the other side. Oh, they're shooting back up. So it's the old down, up, down. Let's see who's going to get the first drop on the path here. Devil is making the first move, followed by Tire, followed by Moose. And Trex is actually now in last, giving up his second place lead. Devil making the first move here. Be careful. There are falling rocks. We are in an avalanche zone. Devil and Tire Slayer are... Oh, Tire getting smashed up by the first boulder, but surviving. Devil holding his lead. Moose coming in. We have rocks everywhere. This is actually legit dangerous. Devil trying to keep this lead. It does appear to be bouncy. MX Sisters somehow already died. Moose already dead. Ouch. All right. This one's very quickly trending in the way of last one where everyone dies. So, I mean, at this point, I don't even know what to do. We have a run back of just the death. So Devil, Tire, and Trex are still alive. Tire and Trex are, they're all kind of by each other. We have Devil winning the race right now. Tire catching the first speed up. But Devil holding the lead, running into a stone, breaking a stone, and then Tire trying to use this opportunity to catch ahead. But Trex is probably going to be making up ground. Okay, they're all tied. We're all just... Now it's anyone's race. Uh-oh. Well, hopefully they use that time... Uh-oh. Hopefully they use that time to study the trick ahead, because we have a kind of an explosive trap coming up. We have a little bit of an explosive trap coming up. Uh-oh. Who's going to make it? Devil was going to take the right path. Devil making it through. Devil making it through. Tire making it through. Trex is still surviving. Trex making it through. They've all made it through. Devil picking the right path. So is Trex. No, so is Tire. Trex going on the left path. Running into another stone here. How are we doing this? We're just letting classic rocks just dissolving. Oh, Trex now in the lead. Trex taking the lead, running into a stone himself. And then Devil and Tire already breaking down their rocks. So Devil back in the lead. And we're actually already through a song. Hang on. We got to go back to approved music here. Approved Tendies and Tunes music. All right. Devil still winning. We're putting on a little velvet Kohrs. Tire in second. Trex all the way up there. And we are now on a spinning stone snowflake. Could be tricky. We have not seen this obstacle before. But Devil making it through. And then dying. So, all right. Now it's down to Trex and Tire. They have a 50-50 shot if they could just survive. I mean, it's right there. And they're just into... Dude, this is going to be a nail biter. This is going to be a nail biter. Who gets through the stonework first? It's only Trex. It's only Tire Slayer. Who's going to make the first move? Who's going to make the first move? Tire. Trex. Uh-oh. They're going a different path. Who's making the move? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Trex. Trex. Trex pulled it off at the last second. Tire running into a barrier. Dude, the emotions on this race are all over the map. All over the map. Bro. All of them dead. Making a recovery. 3 of them die again. Trex. What? And he even got a late start on that last push there. Please join me. Please join me in a very deep, warm-hearted applause for victory. What a day. What a day in just the world of top tier, pure octane marble racing. That was, wow. That's what we do it there for, folks. That's why we spend hours training, day in and day out, hitting the gym, spending time away from our family, spending time away from our friends. This is what we do it for. We do it just for moments like this. Victory among everything else. Congrats, team. Congrats. A special congrats to Trex. You're going to be getting some cold, hard cash. And then congrats to the locals winners, which I have your names somewhere. I don't even know where they are at this point. Where did all the names go? Oh, Devil Guy, Tire Slayer, and Trex all getting a Vanquish account. For the three of you, Devil, Tire, and Trex, make sure you have an account on Vanquish so you can be credited a credit to get the free account. So make sure you're at minimum, just create an account on Vanquish. So that will follow up with you either later today or this weekend, and you'll be getting an email with the credit. Jeez. What a day. What a day this has been. Death in the markets. Death in the marble raceways, insanity and chaos in every aspect of our life. And then we have Velvet Kohrs singing us those smooth, smooth tunes. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. We're at something. Oh, by the way, not just this channel. How do I see this? Home? If you want the music can be found here. If you go to the channel, Tendies Tunes is the music, and then the evergreen trades and just financial content are right there on this channel. So you have the Velvet Kohrs, Matt Kohrs channel for evergreen stuff, and then the music that we're listening to in the background is right here, Tendies Tunes. So those are both out there, obviously free. It's also all up on Rumble if you want to check that out. But I should actually point out here, we just dropped a video here that I think you guys are really going to like. It's called How I Made $61,000 Trading Options, Simple Strategy Explained. It literally just dropped 14 minutes ago. Feel free to check that out after the stream. I'll put the link in the description of the email or something like that, but you could just search Matt Kohrs or it's at Matt Kohrs. This is the title, this is the thumbnail, and it's a full options trading strategy and basically one of the best trades of the year, and it's a full breakdown of everything that happened with that. So it's a new style of video, very, very educational. It's trading strategy specific of what to look for, what not to look for, management, and basically this one literally made me 61,000. So check that out. Someone said bounced off of 5,600. We didn't touch 5,600 quite yet. We got close, 5,605. So that is pretty darn close. I still think that there might be a bit more though. Hang on, let me look at the options. Loading. Yeah, I mean, this is still pretty weak. Yeah, we caught a little bit of a reprieve at 10:30, but I mean, the options are still pretty beat up. Longer duration probably puts. Okay, they started on the S&P 500 complex right at 1037. Calls were being purchased and longer duration puts were being, the delta is pushing up. So we're seeing the delta go up from calls and the delta go up from long duration puts. Zero DTE puts are still holding though. I want to be clear. They are not throwing in the white towel quite yet. Well, the Mag 7 is just legitimately weak. The calls are nowhere to be seen. A little bit of a positive delta movement with the puts, but it just stopped. It was from 10:38 to 10:43. So there was 5 minutes of maybe some people covering, and that was about it. So yeah, now it's getting clocked again. Yeah, I think we're going to 5,600. If you guys want to know the level to watch past that, that is actually where things could get real interesting. 55.75 is the next node. 55.75, that's a number that jumps out to me. What do we have here? 55.80, 75, somewhere in here between 75 and 85 would be the next zone if we don't hold 5,600. But 5,600 is a huge level. You can see we have a lot of positive gamma all the way down here. Actually, we're now in positive gamma. There's a node at 5,600, which is why we're calling that out for support. And then the next node is 5565, which is that JP Morgan position. And we have some long puts to 5580. So I'd be watching 5580. And once again, this is if we snap 5,600. I would be watching 5580. We have some long puts there. And then 5565, there's quite a few... there's quite a bit of positive gamma at that level. So once again, it's just always level by level. If you bounce, you go to the next level up. If you break, you go to the next level down. We're just playing from level to level to level, whether we're bouncing or breaking down. No particular prediction on do we bounce or break. It's just you take that trade when we start trending one way or the other. So at 5,600, I'd be looking either for the bounce up to 5,625 or the push down to 5,580. Those would be my two plays, either the bouncing up here or breaking down to here. But as of right now, the fact that we still have lower highs and lower lows, I'm still feeling pretty confident of the market wanting to evaluate 5,600, which is why this entire time I'm holding my own position, up 50,000, 52,000 there, and then up another 16 there. So that's another $60,000+ day. Folks, remember, these trades, I'm not hiding them. Like, folks, they are, I post all of these in real time in the Discord. You could see I posted this at 12:54 yesterday, and then trying to establish, 12:53. So I literally posted this. I'm looking at the two channels where day in and day out I post my trades in the channel, like in the Discord. So if you want this stuff in real time, I'm not saying Monday morning quarterbacking. I'm saying like when I get in, you know when I'm getting in, and I give some reasoning. You can get that for free. Promo code Goonie. When you sign up, it's gonna look like this. Your first month is 100% free, and you could get into the Discord by clicking this giant button or coming to this pinned message and following the link. If you have any issues, reach out to me, media@matthewkohrs.com, MMK147. But I want to clarify, obviously, it's free, and the reason I do that, the first month is free, because I put my money where my mouth is, because I think I can really start to teach you how to see some of the things I see. And obviously, like, I know I'm trading my account, but it's just up 100%. So even if you bet, if it was a $500 bet, you basically would have paid for an entire year of you being in here. If you put, like, I'm just looking at the percentages. Obviously, the magnitude is based on the magnitude of your underlying bet. But look at the percentages. That's a 95% return, an 87% return. That's an 86% return. If you put $200 on each of these, you would have paid for an entire year of this service. An entire year you would have had for free. And obviously, you could have gotten that then for free, the call out for free, by just using that promo code. Like, it's... to me, it's a no-brainer. And I guess if you have issues getting connected, obviously, that's why I put this out. You could email me, media@matthewkohrs.com, or DM me. I'm more than happy to personally help you. Sometimes it can take up to 24 hours to process the new accounts. I will manually process all the new accounts right after today's show, just so everyone knows. But, I mean, ask anyone in the Discord. There's no Monday morning quarterbacking going on here. You guys are seeing it in real time. You're seeing it in real time. And if there's a way that I could be even more transparent, obviously let me know. But more than that, this video does concisely explain. Actually, you know what? I'll just give you this link. It's also up on Rumble, by the way. So if you're on Rumble, it's going to be the most recent video. On YouTube, it's a different channel. So here, I'm putting it. I just put it into chat, and I'll also put it in the Discord. You can see it there. So I put the link to this new video of a strategy that I used to make 61K. And basically I did the inverse of it to make the current amount of money. And then obviously this was futures over here. So that was a little different subject. But if you're curious to watch this video, I just put the link in the description of the video. I also put it in chat, so you can check that out. But I am basically at this point just either watching 5,600 or 5,625. It's kind of like that easy. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour, all bearish. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour, all bearish. We're finding a little bit of support at 5,605, just above 558. This is a key area, hugely important area. If it snaps, I'm talking 55.80. If it bounces, I'm talking 56.25. It's that easy. It's truly that easy. If you're looking at the options flow, let me go to the hero. I just want to give you the most up-to-date info. Here's what's happening on the Mag 7. We bounced a little bit starting at 938, and we've been going flat, so no real movement. S&P 500, once again, bouncing at 937, drifting up a little bit, but overall the trend is still down. And then I have one more tool that I could check for you to kind of give you an idea about current sentiment. It's bearish. The calls are dropping. The average strike being played on the 0DT calls throughout the day is getting lower and lower and lower. And it's the same thing with the puts. So when you have the average strike of the calls dropping and the average strike of the puts dropping, it kind of tells you who's in control. And this is not a time to be buying. Obviously, in terms of risk, it's maybe not smart to chase. Like if you were taking this breakdown, your risk would probably be this recent high. Okay, cool. You can move on with your life. Like that's not too bad of risk. I'm feeling highest probability pathway is us testing 5,600. And maybe you want to take that, maybe you don't, whatever. It depends on you, your risk tolerance, and make sure you're playing with, I find people overbet. So make sure your sizing is reasonable because there's always a chance you're just going to be wrong. But what we can say is maybe you don't want to chase it, but you also definitively know that like you should never, ever be buying in this circumstance. What the fuck is the reason to be buying right now? Price structure, as in what we've had throughout the day, lower highs, lower lows. That is bearish. Price momentum, bearish, 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 bearish. And then looking at options flow, bearish, now flat, neutral, and then also straight up bearish, now flat, neutral. There's nothing currently favoring the bulls. And then even looking at the option chain, I'll double check it. Let me reload one thing, but I'm pretty sure today's 0 DTE is still put dominated. And also the fact that we've seen the transition of next week where it was kind of scattered. 3 of the 5 days were put dominated. 2 of the 5 days were call dominated. Now they're all put dominated. But let me double check. Yeah. Today is massively put dominated. This is calling for potential support at 5,600. And if that doesn't hold, this one is calling, about 80. I don't know. The whole region down here starts to get really choppy just because it's sparse. But I'd be watching 80 and then I'd be watching 65. I think that's a pretty reasonable play. We know 5565 is that JP Morgan position expiring on Monday. And we are now definitely close enough that the market is going to start to see some of those gamma implications of that play. You can see that here on Trace. So this giant gamma node right there, 5565, right here, this huge position, that is the JP Morgan. They are net 29,000. 29,000. That's a huge fucking play. But you could see, actually, can you guys see that? Or is my head blocking it? Let me, right here. See, that's we puked through this negative gamma, and now we're slowing down because we got caught up in positive gamma, which is this purple node. So there is a node at 5,600, and then there's this giant, even more impactful node at 5565. So as we're in here, I would expect the movement to slow down in terms of volatility. If we bounce out of it, we're back in negative gamma, and we could actually pick up pretty quickly. I don't think that's going to happen. If anything, I would kind of be looking for a slow and steady fight at 5,600, and then maybe if it cracks, kind of a grind down. But I do want to point out that we are now in this positive gamma, and the later we get to in the day, it's going to get even more sticky. But the biggest positive gamma node is at 5565 with another decent one at 5,600 flat. But above that, that's negative. If for some weird, let me fast forward. If in some weird case we snap this, which I would say is a low probability pathway, but if it were to happen, we are then once again in very negative gamma. So like this would be a super low probability bet with a super high payout if it were to happen, just because of how much positive gamma is right here at 5565. But notice how if we snap, it's actually the most red gamma node of the day. So if it were to snap, shit will get bad, but it's going to be very, very low odds that occurs. So I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying be careful of a bounce somewhere between 5,600 and 5560, 5565, or just even like it's just stickiness. That's just like a really, really sticky level in here. I would expect the price movement to slow down the way it already has. See how we just like slice through it like hot butter, and then we kind of stop, then we're in between levels. If it breaks, like maybe there's a little bit of a puke, but I would expect the movement just to become really, really sticky due to the fact that we're in this. And then if we snap 5550, it could speed up again. So it's kind of like the green light, red light game almost we used to play growing up. Did you close your NVIDIA puts today? I don't know if you're talking to me, but I don't have NVIDIA puts. I didn't have them today. All of my personal trades are updated in real time in the Discord. So if you're curious about what they are, or the Piper signal, but really like that stuff's useful. But the truly useful thing is not only the lecture videos. There's quite a few independent like just educational videos in there. But the true value is the other good traders in there, of just like the community of people who are going through exactly what you're going through, bouncing ideas off of each other, kind of discussing it. Because like I found that as an active trader, like you're probably driving your friends or your girlfriend or your wife absolutely crazy, talking to them about things that they don't give a shit about, and they don't understand the stress and the emotions and why we woke up early today to pay attention to inflation. So it's just a good group of people who are literally like going through a very similar experience as you, and then obviously kind of coming together, putting our brain power together to see if we could like make sense of all the craziness and noise and all the insanity. So I would say that's like the major thing. But once again, test it out, see if it's for you. Your first month is free. I don't want anyone to feel like they got. What is the Piper trade and how does it work? It's all over. It's in the, like, if you sign up for locals, there's a daily breakdown. Once you're in the Discord, there's like an explanation of it, videos, because you're going to have to know call credit spreads and put credit spreads, but it's all in there. You got to do like at least 30. I'm more than happy to answer questions, but I can't like spoon feed you everything. Like, it takes, to be a successful trader, you have to have like a little bit of self-drive to like kind of seek some things out. And I guess I'm bringing this up because literally 5 days out of a week, there's a post, the daily trade update that has Piper in it, and you could discern what it is. It's put credit spreads and call credit spreads. I mean, I went over it this morning, and like literally every single trading day, there's an update post about what Piper did or didn't do that day. We are hanging out just above this level, and just, I don't know, we're getting sucked to this magnet of 5,600. That's all bearish pretty evidently. That's all bearish pretty evidently. How's the daily chart looking now with all this? Trendline snap. We're breaking down. I mean, I've been calling this out now for days. As soon as things turned on Wednesday, we talked about it. Yesterday was a bit of a bust. Today we got that break, and look at where we're finding support. The low on Tuesday, the low on Friday. We're right at 5,600 on SPY. That's equivalent to the low 50, like 558, like 558, maybe like 25 ish is like exactly the level. So watch 558 here. And then if we snap, look out below. We might be talking about going to 552. So watching the support from Friday and also from Tuesday. To sell a put, you need to own SPY shares, right? Nope. And that is fully explained in there. Can you quickly go over this long premium when IV low and sell premium when IV high? Really quick, I want to hear it from a profitable option trader. Well, the idea is that IV is going to be switching. So if you're selling premium when IV is high, the idea is that if it's high, it's going to get crushed. So then the stock doesn't move as much. So you keep all the money from the premium you sold, and vice versa. When premium is low, when vol is low, you're expecting vol to then expand as a movement to happen. So it'd be better to be long that premium. So you kind of want to do the opposite, because if vol is low, you're expecting an expansion. If vol is high, you're expecting a contraction. How's Piper the cat doing? Dude, she's a menace. I love her. I've kind of come to the decision that for Piper, my cat, there is not a person, group of people, nation of people that I would not kill for her. Truly. I would mow down an entire island nation for my cat to like not get a splinter caught in her paw. I don't think there is like a vicious, violent crime I would not commit for her day to be slightly better. Truly, I would run it back time and time again. I would do it twice just to make sure that it gets counted so she has like a quality day. No questions asked. There we go. Here comes the test. We're at 5,600. Guess what? We either bounce back up to 56.25 because we are at positive gamma. We know there's a lot of action here, or we break and puke all the way down to the next level at 5,580. And then there's a lot of positive gamma at 5,565. So this is a lot of positive gamma. That's a lot of positive gamma. Both are big open interest levels, but then there also has to be, there's a pretty interesting open interest level here at 5,580. Bet you didn't feel that way when she scratched your face. I did. It was my fault. 100% my fault. Whenever she does that intentionally or unintentionally harms me, it's because I deserved it. So you'd kill your own wife? Dude, hell yeah, man. Do you know how fat her life insurance is? Don't tell her I said that, though. I'm not sure if I'm the beneficiary yet. So before we get to that question, I'd have to see if I am actually the main beneficiary of her life insurance. You know, just have to double check that. Make sure you cross the T's, dot the I's on that contract. I feel like I should buy life insurance, if I'm being honest. VIX is picking up back up to 21. Hello, Vol. Hello, Vol. It's been a minute. Dude, MSTR is getting clocked. It is getting clocked, dude. All right, let's look at some of these daily charts. Tesla, downside gap filled to 250. NVIDIA, I should have held those. Broadcom, legit breakdown. MSTR. Meta, downside gap fall on Meta. That was a solid play. Everything's getting fucking goosed right now. $270 on MSTR. That's interesting. What do I want to do? I should be adding on some positions. We've gotten too excited. Too excited. Oh. What is today? MSTR. What is today? What is today? What is today? What is today? All right, we're going to take a stab at that. We're going to take a stab at what do I want to do? How do I want to play it? How do I want to play it? Let's double check some things. Where's Vol at? Vol's almost at 21. Interesting. Interessante. Dude, MicroStrategy's getting fucking goosed. I need to take a quick screenshot here. Send this into the Discord, doing a little bit of repositioning, having a little bit of fun in the sun. What a Friday. What a Friday. What do we have? We're swingers. I haven't locked in anything yet, really. We'll just see how rowdy this is actually going to get today. See how rowdy, dude. We're right at that snap level. RIP to all the bulls. All the bulls in chat who thought we had a shot today. Poor guys. Poor guys. Happens to the best of it. Happens to the best of us. All right, folks. I didn't realize what time it was, but it is a time for us to part ways. It is that time of the Classic Friday. Obviously, if you're in the Discord, I'm about to be there. But for everyone else on the show, I appreciate the good vibes. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you made a shitload of money. I hope that my levels and my breakdown and my pure just high levels of luck helped you guys out, and I hope you guys absolutely crushed it. Like I said, I hope you are making 1, 2, 3, 4, a gazillion amount of bags. I hope you're getting your tendies. The new video is out. Make sure to check that out. It is my mod's putting it in chat right now. It's in the description of the video. It is a full option strategy breakdown where I think it's something that you literally could start using as early as next Monday when you pay attention to the market and watch that video. So the video is out now. It's up on Rumble. It's up on YouTube. My mod's putting the link in chat. It's also in the description of the video. Highly recommend you guys check that out. Shout out to Vanquish. Congrats to all the Marble Dyers who then became, we at least had one winner. Obviously, shout out to Trex. I'll send you your cold hard cash right after this. If you guys signed up for the Discord today and it's not connecting, I need to process all of you. So I'll do it right after the stream. So just give me a little bit and you guys will be processed today. That's what I have for you. I laid out the levels, watch them closely, and pay attention to that really sticky positive gamma. And if on the low probability that we snap the JP Morgan position, holy shit, today could get absolutely wild. That's what I have for you. best of luck with the remainder of the day. Enjoy your Friday night. Enjoy your weekend. Have fun. If not, be safe, or be safe. If not, have fun and make sure it was worth it. But I hope you guys had a great week. I know I had a great week with all of you. I'll catch you guys in the update video on Sunday, but make sure in the meantime to watch that new video. That's what I have for all of you. Love you. Bye.